Blasian, Titan Nation, Titan Nation, Titan Nation. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian, Titan. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation, Titan Nation, Titan Nation. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation, Titan Nation, Titan Nation. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian, Titan. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation, Titan Nation, Titan Nation. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation, Titan Nation, Titan Nation. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titan Nation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian. Blasian, Titanation. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titanation, Titanation, Titanation. Welcome to the Blasian, Titanation, Titanation, Titanation. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian, Titanation. 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 Welcome to the Blasian. Welcome to the Blasian.
All right. So this is what I'm seeing right now. So I'm using the stream together feature. The cam on the stream together feature. So if the cam does not work on the stream together feature, Sass, we can do the Discord. Hello,
Okay.
Mel. Hello. We are troubleshooting at the moment. My mic volume is very low. Oh shit. Let me turn that up. Let me turn that up. And let me fix Sass's let me fix Sass for a sec here on stream together. There we go. Ooh. There we go. How you doing, Meow? Hopefully you're doing good. I'm excited today. I'm excited. This is episode 7 of the Blasian Titanation podcast. Hello, Soul. Hello. What's up? Soul Emotional. Let's go. Welcome in. Hello. Hi. How are you? How you doing? Happy Friday. Hopefully you're doing good. This could be a good podcast. Okay. So Sass, are you still having issues with the cam?
Yeah, I probably will stick to just Discord.
Okay, no problem. Let me see. Let's go to the Discord window. All right. So if you turn on your cam on the Discord window, let me see.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can hear myself. That's so weird.
I hate that. Oh, you thought
Hi, chat. Hi, everybody.
Stream? Hey, let's go. It's okay. We're having technical difficulties. It's all good. Yeah. So Meow says you can hear Sass. Everybody can hear Sass. Okay.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. So let me and everybody go check out Sass, please and thank you. Okay. I mean, we can do this without the cam. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, Sass. It doesn't really matter to me. Cam or no cam.
I can definitely be on.
It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really matter.
The problem is I can still hear myself in Discord. Like the audio comes back to me. And that's weird.
Do you have it like on output on your OBS?
I completely turn off OBS.
Okay. So you just have Discord on?
Yes, just Discord.
Okay. So you can mute the Discord tab in Chrome? Let me see. So my Discord's on. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna show the Discord. I have to show the Discord window here. Oh, there we go. Whoa. Hey.
I wonder if I just turn off Discord and turn on my audio in the streaming together window. I think that's probably better.
It's working. Well, it's working.
Here, real quick, I'm gonna try to deafen in Discord and
Okay.
do streaming together instead.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. Whoa, that's an echo. That's an echo. Cause like we're using Discord for audio and using Stream Together for video. That's the thing. So it's like audio for Discord and Stream Together is like for video only. Hold on. Let me change sides here.
Ooh, my head is big on your stream.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. The person who I'm interviewing is supposed to be the larger one. Okay. Hold on. Video share. Oh, wait. I gotta move my
Ooh, that's big.
my thing. Where are you? Where is it? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll move this here so that people can see all you here. Okay, perfect. All right. I mean, this works. This works. I mean, this works.
I do still hear myself though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to like fix. I have no idea how to turn it off. In your streams together, did you already turn off your mic?
You want me to turn off my mic?
Probably you stream it together, yeah. Because I'm hearing everything in Discord already.
Okay. Hold on. Let me turn off my mic in the stream together. All right. So
testing.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
I'm still hearing myself though. Oh wait.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever just happened, we're good.
Yeah. We're okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think it was streamed together.
Oh, okay.
I think it was streamed together.
Gotcha.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So everything's good. Audio's good. Everything's good. All right. Everybody get settled. Welcome in. Hey, it's Ian J.
Oh, that's Ian. Yeah, that's my friend.
All right. Welcome.
Hi,
in,
Soul.
everybody.
Hi, Ian. Hi,
Welcome
chat.
in. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Blasian Titan Nation podcast, baby, featuring none other than the epitome of sass. If you don't know epitome of sass, you're gonna get to know him today. I'm excited for this one. It's always good to have a Blasian on. It's always great. You know, I'm always excited when there's another Blasian on here because, again, you know, I'm always, you know, I want to know more about the Blasian, especially on Twitch. You know.
Yeah. How many have you had already on your podcast? If you don't mind me asking.
I had 2. I had Novel ID and I had Blasian Butterfly. But you're the first Blasian male on here, so it'll be great.
Okay, I'll take that honor.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good one. And my mind, right? When I first I discovered you because of Pearl Tees, right? And there's not many, you know, Blasians on Twitch that I just I gel with, you know, that I enjoy their streams. I enjoy watching. You know, I'm a very personality based type of person. Just because you're Blasian doesn't mean it's like an invitation, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You know? So I'm always about the content of the person, and you really, your energy and the way that you are, it's okay, it's good. This is good. This is amazing. I'm very happy
That
that I'm very
is a
happy
very
that you
good compliment.
accepted.
Thank you so much for that. That's so sweet of you.
No, because I want to get to know your upbringing. Like I just
Yeah.
like I asked like the other Blasians, Novel ID and Blasian Butterfly. I want to know your upbringing and how your parents met. Like I want to know like the adversities that you've gone through.
Yeah.
I'm very when I was like, man, I really just want to know like what you've gone through from when you were born up until the point now, because I'm pretty sure you've gone through a lot.
Yeah.
I know that you've gone through a
Yeah.
lot. You've gone
I'm sure
through
like
this
all of us
adversity.
definitely, right? And I think
Yeah.
like specifically, um, it's interesting immediately to your question about, how my parents met and stuff like that. But specifically, oh God, I will say the blackness came in through as a result of the Vietnam War. And I think this could be like a lot, like not to get too political or not too like sappy about it, but it was specifically my grandma who, God rest her soul, she recently passed maybe like a few years ago.
Mm.
But it was through her experience while she was living in Vietnam and during the middle of the Vietnam War, American soldiers come in. It was unfortunate about like what happened basically to my grandmother. And specifically as it relates to my mom is the one who's half black and half Vietnamese. And
Oh.
what's very interesting is that I had to get this confirmation of like say like how my mom got here to the States through through a kind of like an English written project for one of her college courses. My older sister, who she was the first one to go to college, and specifically she had done a paper on kind of like the lineage of my whole family when it comes to like how we got to the point of moving to the United States and whatnot, right? And so what I found out is that there was a specific kind of like policy legislation act helping Amer-Asians, those who are born out of, the circumstance of the Vietnam War or any kind of like wartime, would be given, quote unquote, the opportunity to basically immigrate to the United States in the hopes of finding their parents. Of
Oh.
those who are like other say it could be black or like non-black lineage that's
Mm-hmm.
not directly, say in this case, Vietnamese, right? So that was
Mm-hmm.
how my mom got here first. She and my
Oh.
older sister, they moved from Vietnam to say California and then slowly went over to the East Coast here. And me and my brother, we were born in the United States. Yeah.
Oh. That's
So
cool. That's
otherwise,
super cool.
I had a like a what I assume a full Vietnamese father, but then there was also stuff with that as well. Before even moving to Boston, for example.
So your mom is half black, half Vietnamese.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay. So let me get this straight here. When your mom moved here, did she meet another Vietnamese man?
Yes. Yeah. So
Oh.
between me, my brother, and my older sister, we had different fathers, and that was of course between like the time of them immigrating to the United States before my mom met my actual father or biological father.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it came to be. So I'm technically a quarter black, right?
Oh. So do you
Yeah.
identify as Blasian?
Yes, absolutely. And I think specifically that very unique, I would say very unique identity. The more ownership of that identity happened more in my early adult life. I would say post like graduating like high school and kind of like finding myself in college specifically.
Uh-huh.
And I would say going back to like when me and my brother we got to read my older sister's project regarding kind of like my family's lineage in that way. I think that was like the biggest kind of like internalizing like this is what happened, this is a
Mm.
circumstance, and I am a product of all of that, you know?
So while you're like, your childhood, while you're growing up, did you identify as like Vietnamese, or did you identify as black? Did
Mhm.
you like what did you say you told people? Like what did you say
Yeah.
you said to your friends, your classmates? Like
Yeah.
what would you say?
I would say I came primarily from a Vietnamese household.
Okay.
Because that's what I grew up with. That's the culture I grew with. That's the food. That's the holidays. That's like the background for sure. And I would imagine my mom specifically was the one who had to really navigate the brunt of probably not feeling completely included in one community or over another in this case.
Yeah.
Because she herself, right? She didn't know her, in this case, her biological father at all, from my understanding, who was the black man in this case. For me, definitely grew up more feeling like Asian Vietnamese, but of course, all of us feeling that feeling. I'm pretty sure where we're not fitting in due to immediately how we're perceived and how we look. I definitely have like more darker skin compared to say like East Asians, like traditionally East Asians or Southeast Asians as well.
Mm-mm. Do you speak
Yeah.
Vietnamese?
Yeah, I would say I understand more than I can read and write and talk. Just do like the nuances of like day-to-day stuff specifically, but if
Yeah.
you say like I can definitely carry on a conversation just fine with like my mom and my older sister every like talking Vietnamese, but I have a much harder time thinking of like the correct words to say sometimes or fully understanding. Say like if I hear like a Vietnamese ballad, I'm not gonna understand it at all. You know what I mean? Like legitimately, I would not be able to understand it at all. But I still, of course, can hear and like talk a little bit to get through like the day to day.
That's cool. That's cool because like I watch a lot of Phuc Mop on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you heard of this guy. Yeah. This guy, he speaks Vietnamese. He's a white guy, ginger beard. Like he speaks like Vietnamese to a T. And I like the fact that he goes around and like eats a lot of like different types of like Vietnamese food that I've never even seen or heard of before. I would like to know like what kind of Vietnamese food that you like to eat. What is it that you like?
Yeah. Oh God. I talked about it before. I believe you were actually there in my chat too when we talked about it.
I got it mistaken. Like what did I say? I said like pad thai or something like. I don't know what the fuck I said, but it was not Vietnamese at all. It was Thai.
No, there is technically
like
like
bro, I like both. I like both. I like all types of food. I just don't like liver. Liver is not my thing, but I can eat like practically.
We do have a lot of liver and Vietnamese dishes, but specifically, I remember sharing this. And I think you were there too. And a lot of friends were like nose taking on it because I think most haven't heard about it. But between you and Rookie Kev, who of course was another Blasian, who's also part Vietnamese, he knew what exactly I was talking about. It's called Mi Quang, which is of the specific Quang province. That's where it came from in Vietnam. But it's like flat rice noodles with like braised pork and shrimp and peanuts, bean sprouts, and like what I prefer, not a soup version, but like a stir fried kind of like brief saucy flavored version to pour over the noodles, and that's how you would eat it with like lime, cilantro, basil leaves, things like that. That's my ultimate favorite, and I'm very heartbroken that there's nothing around here that I can like order from to really give me that authentic experience, because otherwise it's my only like my mom's like go-to favorite and I will only eat hers so far in my life.
So have you been to Vietnam?
I have, yes.
Yeah?
So the latest time I've been there was actually for one of my cousin's wedding, and that was around 2018. But I think I first truly visited the country kind of like, I want to say as a preteen. I would think it was like maybe 11 or 12, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And trust, like once we arrived, like everyone immediately clocked us as like the black ones. You know what I mean? So it's like that. Yes, for sure. Man.
Oh, that's like me going to the Philippines. That is me going to the Philippines. Bro, listen to me. I did not have a father growing up, so I grew up on my Filipino side of my family. So literally, I was like the black kid, and I was kind of confused growing up because I don't know if you, because you're lucky. You're very lucky. You have family. You have siblings. I did not have like siblings. Like I had siblings, but they're from other families. My mom married previously and my dad married previously, so they had kids previously in their previous marriages.
Oh wow.
And then they divorced, they came here to Canada and they met each other and just had me, but they had no other kids, obviously, because like I was like 1 year old when my dad passed. So it was like my mom raised me on her side, but I met her, like my brother and my sister who were from the Philippines immigrated here to Canada, and I didn't know how to be respectful to them. I wasn't taught like how to say kuya or ate or like None of that. You
Oh,
know, I was not taught that. So obviously, when they showed up, they're like, this kid is like not like he's not really Filipino. You know, you didn't raise
yeah.
him up as that. You know, because I wasn't around Filipinos. I feel like if I was born in the Philippines, I feel like I would be way more into my Filipino side. Like I would be speaking the
Yeah.
language a little bit more. Like right now, I'm like struggling to learn it. I'm like saying a whole bunch of things, but my grammar is not to that point. And I just feel like if I grew up in the Philippines, I would be a totally different person. I don't even know if I would be streaming. I don't know if I would be doing this, but it is.
Hello,
what it
me
is.
too.
Yeah, I know.
If we
I don't
actually
know.
take that far, like life would be
Yeah.
so different if, say,
Yeah.
my mom had decided to just stay in Vietnam. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, I would not have anything that I have right now, and it would be completely different over there, I think.
Yeah. Like the
I get it.
culture.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Vietnam, what are some of the things that are like culturally different than here, than the West? What are like some of the things? Like just name them off. Name them off. Because I can name off.
I think, well, I think there's such a big time lapse between when I first visited as a preteen to the last time I visited to 2018 for my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
It definitely got more like modernized and industrialized between just like those two time periods alone. But I would say, even with me, I would say like preteen sass, right? When I was there for the first time. My family over there, all my extended family is like there, right? All I have is my immediate family here. And they live in the countryside in Vietnam, which is I want to say like a good maybe 7 to 8 hours drive from the main Ho Chi Minh airport, you know, the main city in the country, right? To go all the way there to the countryside.
Wow.
And back then, at least, they had like unpaved roads, and they still have like unpaved roads. And the way they dressed was different. It seemed like it came out something of like the 80s and 90s still, even though I had visited like literally in more like mid to later like 2000s. Biggest culture shock I would say is just like in terms of like the globalization, like all the stuff that we have here back then, they wouldn't really have, right? They don't really have. They have cell phones, but they wouldn't have like an iPhone yet, for example, right?
Okay. So they're like a bit behind?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah?
for sure.
Okay,
And I would say specifically, back then as a preteen, I would bring like all the gaming stuff that we have, like consoles and stuff to like, you know, spend our time with, and I would play with my cousins, nieces and nephews over there and show them, you know, play some games and whatnot, fighting games or Final Fantasy, for example.
Yeah.
And I brought my PS2, I brought like Game Boy SP at the time and whatnot, and they don't have access to those over there, at least at that time. They definitely did not have access to like normal game consoles that we are so used to now, or at least back then. And now, from my latest 2018 visit, they're definitely more modernized. There's more businesses. Like now they have like for real, like normal, what we consider normal, like an everyday restaurant or boba tea shop that they have for available. They have games, they have iPhones, they have all that now. Despite still having, at least in the countryside, like dirt roads and a lot of motorcycles, way more motorcycles. There's no like pedestrian rules. People can like hit a pedestrian and would get away with it, right? Because there's just not enough like,
there's
government police coverage, right? Like, yes, exactly.
That's like the Philippines. That's the Philippines, okay? Like the traffic.
It's crazy.
Oh my god, bro!
You have to be careful.
Oh man, like you are risking your life every day if you're like in the traffic. Like honestly, people are disobeying what laws? There's no road laws. What? There's no road laws.
At least when it came
stop
to
signs?
the countryside,
Ain't nobody give a damn about the stop signs.
They don't have that.
Nobody cares. Oh man. Listen, okay, in the Philippines, right? Culturally, you know, I feel as though a lot of people know each other or get to know each other, get to know your neighbor. You know, they get to know, they call it kapitbahay. So it's like they get to know your neighbor, like whenever you're like in a town or anything like that. You know, like for example, when you move into like a house, for me in Canada, I don't know my neighbors. I don't know any of them. Like we just kind of stick to ourselves and that's it. But in the Philippines, when you move somewhere, it's like everybody knows you, everybody like gravitates toward you, everybody like goes to your house, and you know,
Mhm.
like welcomes you into the neighborhood. You know, whenever I went back to the Philippines, it was always obviously because I'm a foreigner, right? But honestly,
Mhm.
you know, when I go back, I feel this sense of community. You know, the sense of people of happiness that I don't get here. You know, a lot of people here are. See, babe, love you. But a lot of people here are not. I don't know, like happy or I don't know. They don't want to get to know you. They're like my business, your business,
Yeah,
your business. So in the
I
Philippines,
I
though, it was like
totally get that.
totally different. Like you know your neighbor, you know
Mhm.
everybody. Like everybody knows you. Everybody like has a sense of like happiness, even though they are no matter they're poor, they don't have no money. They're still happy, smiling. I remember going to the
Mhm.
slums in the Philippines, and these people are like fucking flooded in their house, and they're like you know using the bucket to like I don't know if you experienced in
Yeah.
Vietnam like the floods, but like you know the bucket just to
Mhm.
like you know get the water out of their house, and they're still
Yeah.
happy, you know, like that type of
Yeah.
shit. It's the attitude. The attitude really makes a difference, and man, I want to end up in the I want to like move sometime to the Philippines. I want to like
Is that
either
actually like your long term goal, or
it's
what
like
you've been
my
thinking about it?
goal. Sass, I'm telling you, I don't know about you, but do you feel as though you are? I don't know. Are you like are you happy in your environment, or do you wish you like you were
Mhm.
living somewhere else? Are you happy in America? You know, are you like
I
in the
mean,
West?
not to talk too much about it, but the state of things like is a little rough, all right?
I know.
But
Not to get into any
I don't think
politics wise. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think I would still, because I'm so like every time I visit, I even like the last time, right? I'm fully as a grown adult. I'm already in again 2018, my last visit to Vietnam and see my family there for my cousin's wedding and whatnot. It was for me such a depressing time. I was definitely
Oh
just
shit.
in a huge depression because I felt like just such a big fish out of water between just like not being able to fully interact with like my family or like people visiting us because they hear my mom's coming back or like my mom and her family's coming back, and
Oh.
she can navigate that way better than I can, right? Because there's such excitement, but I can like barely really understand Vietnamese like that. And there's also like such a dialect difference as well that really makes it
Mm,
even more tough. So for me, I was
mm.
thinking like the whole time I was such like a hermit. I didn't really get to spend too much time with my family until like we actually did plan specific stuff. They like visit like amusement parks or whatnot with my family, or do all like the wedding stuff between the countryside, and then they had another wedding celebration in the main city as well in Ho Chi Minh. So in the downtime, I was literally just by myself. I would wake up super late. I would just be on my phone all day. So for me, I think it'd be so hard to imagine myself living there like long time.
So the
Like
language
I
barrier.
rather be, yeah, and
Yeah.
culture barrier in general,
Culture barrier. Okay. Okay.
as well, but specifically language, and just when I arrive, I know I'm like completely a fish out of water
Mm,
whenever
mm,
I do visit.
mm.
Yeah.
So like what's the difference between you and when you visit them? Like what like are you other than the language
Mhm.
barrier, like is there like something just culturally different, or like what's kind of like
Mhm.
dividing you? Like what's like, you know,
Yeah.
what's
I
that
think
thing?
one also like I know everyone knows now because again, me and G Silver we got married last year, and that became a whole thing where my family over there they surprise us with like gifts of money, and they're sending stuff and sending sweet messages. But back then, like for sure, I was still basically like kind of like back in the closet, and that
Oh,
probably
okay.
also
Okay.
contributed to my depression experience over there because by that point I was already dating G Silver for like a good like almost 3 years up to
Mhm.
that point, and we had
Mhm.
already moved together and whatnot, and stuff like that, right? So when I finally
Mhm.
visited as a full-on like mid-20s adult, it feels like I have to go back in the closet, and I couldn't like fully express myself in
Oh.
any capacity unless I'm like doing it and accidentally like shaking the table, quote unquote. And these people who maybe don't have that much experience with Westerners or queer ideas, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna
Right.
be tough.
Right.
And
So
I still get, I remember that time, 2018, I'm getting questions from my family or like, family friends is like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Are you seeing anybody? I'm like, I
oh,
dread those questions. Cause again, I have to
really?
like be back in the closet.
Okay, so let's back up here because that's another thing. All right, that's another thing. Let's
Yeah.
just back up a little bit. You know, okay, let's back up a bit. So you are
Mhm,
openly gay. You are
mhm,
openly homosexual. So
mhm.
when did you know that you were gay? When did you know? Like when you're a teen, like in your high school, middle school, like when did you know? When did you start to
Yeah.
like get to like see like when I started liking men?
Yeah. I feel like I didn't have the language right. And I'm pretty sure most queer trans people, also feel this way as well. As a kid, like you knew something was there, but it wasn't like, oh, complete like quote unquote sexual attraction. Because again, we're like little kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember specifically enjoying playtime more with like my male friends over like female friends,
Okay.
um, to a certain point, and then it's funny, right? You kind of like make that shift as you're going through like elementary school and middle school. I then became more friends with like girls more than guys because the awkward puberty stage and whatnot. And I felt at the time more comfortable with like my girlfriends rather
Mm.
than like my male friends.
Mm, mm, mm.
I knew something like that, right? Was pertaining to like my queer identity would be like maybe like 4 or 5. Like I knew
Mm.
something was there. And I remember specifically at a time when I was like playing quote unquote house, I was playing house with like male friends and imagining us as like the husbands of the house, Like I
Yeah.
have that distinct memory still. So I knew for a while, but to have the language, probably more so like when I was more like, I want to say like fourth or fifth grade, when you kind of start getting like the idea of like, oh, who will be like your girlfriend or boyfriend, who we like imagine your life with, for example, who are your
Mm, mm,
crushes and things like that, right? So that was when
mm.
it was more full formulation of like more understanding of sexuality, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. So like so when did you like when did you come out to your parents, like to your mom, to your I'm assuming like
Mhm.
like I assume your siblings knew, like there's someone had to take a clue
Right.
that, like, you can't be that.
Can
Not
I
a lot of
tell you
people in your
something
environment can be
funny?
that ignorant
There's
and be
a
like, come on. Like,
Okay, you would think that. You would
yeah,
think
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but let me
yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
specifically with my mom, I would say when I started coming out just in general, of course, came out with my friends first. So I would say maybe towards like freshman, sophomore year in high school, for sure, I started like coming out to like some of my closest friends, right? Some of my best friends growing up and whatnot. They definitely knew, and all that. And I started getting more comfortable with like expressing myself more throughout high school since then.
Mm, mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
specifically, I think officially coming out to first, it was my siblings. Um, God, this is the tea. So actually, my younger brother, by 10 months, mind you, he came out to my mom way before I came out to my mom. They had a huge fight when I think he was in 8th grade. And me,
What?
ninth grade, we had shared the room. I was just trying to do my homework at like, my computer desk and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
And for some reason, they got in an argument, and my younger brother just decided to like just come out right then and there, just like get it off his chest for some reason in the middle of whatever argument they had.
Yeah, yeah.
And I distinctly remember my mom was like pointing towards me, is like, "You need to tell me something." And I said no. I
Wow.
said
Wow.
no
So
because I was not ready
wow.
yet. I was not ready
Wow.
yet. Fast
Uh,
forward,
yeah.
fast forward to when it was more like 2017 when I first moved in together with G Silver. Um, at the time before I officially moved with him, what I had done with my family was like weekly Sunday lunches because I was like going out and about and whatnot. But I think one thing that we agreed as a family, at least back then, is to like just spend time with each other, like making that Sunday lunchtime as
Mm-hmm.
like the meetup time for all of us. And so we had done that a lot. But when I officially moved out, first of all, my mom didn't not know yet that I was moving in with my partner, right? So when it was time for me to
But your
host the
But your mom
family
knew.
lunch.
Sorry, Sass. But your mom knew though.
No,
No.
still no,
Still no.
still no.
Okay. Sorry.
So what really
Yeah.
happened when she
Yeah.
finally realized was when it was my turn to host family lunch, i.e., them visiting my new apartment that I had moved in with G Silver. So
Okay.
when I finally opened the door, like letting my family into the apartment, right? I say like, oh, you know, my siblings come first and whatnot. My mom's last, and it's like, hi mom, meet my boyfriend, G Silver. That is how I officially came out to my mom during the family lunch, finally playing at my place when I had finally moved out and moved in with G Silver.
And
that is how it went.
She couldn't take a clue. Like she didn't like. She didn't.
I know specifically from what my brother had told me, because for that specific family lunch where they're coming to my place for the first time, my brother, older sister, and my mom had drove in together, right, to come to the family lunch. And so when the family lunch finally was finished, and you know the whole family have left our apartment, my brother, my sister told me that on their drive back, my mom kept saying like, "I had no idea Sass is gay." I'm like, how do you not know, mom?
How?
Right?
I don't know.
Right.
Come on.
Let me tell you, it was a great lunch and she had a great time.
Okay,
like she of course like loved G Silver since then, right? But that was still some of the biggest things that I had to find out from my like siblings afterwards. It was like the whole time mom was very surprised that you were actually gay. And I'm like, really? Come on, you know?
Wow. Man, I don't know. Man, your mom, I don't know, maybe she was like having this like hope that you would like be like so you and your brother, is your sister is she gay as well, your older sister?
No, she, as far as I know, she's straight. Like she had boyfriends and she's currently seeing her boyfriend right now and stuff like that, so I don't think she is.
Okay, so you and your brother are only like, you know, gay ones in the family.
Yeah, and like we knew with each other, I think we talked about it again since like that middle school age between both of us.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, as far as I know, I don't know anyone else in my family or extended family are like queer or not. So, yeah,
it's interesting.
So speaking of what, you know, not to joke too much, but like we kind of like joke even more amongst ourselves that we are indeed such a quote unquote black sheep of the family, because again we're like the only Westerners, and then not only that culturally, but it's also like, you know, we have two queer kids within our own immediate family. Not to the point where my extended family will like judge us and whatnot, but you know, now they officially know as of last year, closer to like me and G Silver's wedding date in November. So
okay, so now you and G Silver married, right? So you go to Vietnam, okay, but you still are not. You go together, or you went by yourself, or like what? You went with G Silver?
No, he still hasn't visited yet. Like we still haven't visited together. Okay. No. So legit, the last time I had been there was 2018 for my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think at this point, especially with, I think my grandmother had like passed a few years ago.
Oh.
She was really like the glue of the family that really like kind of like brought the idea of my mom wanting to visit more often. But since she's no longer here with us, we haven't like planned anything together as a family in like a long time regarding like, will we be potentially wanting to go back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it may take even longer because we still have our own like situations to go through right now.
Like it's always awkward with like family, like when you go to Vietnam, are you like for your the wedding and stuff, you were still in the closet at that time, right? Were you telling everybody that you had a husband, you were gay? Like were you like just open and expressive?
No. Again, right? Because if that last time was 2018, I was fully into depression because I had to be back in the closet.
Oh, okay.
Like I couldn't be fully like authentic without kind of like feeling like I would have more eyes on me or more questions on me or more judgment towards me, because they're still, you know, technically like communist-esque country.
Is there like not a big gay community in Vietnam? I swear there is.
I'm pretty sure there is, with like them with the world being so globalized and whatnot, and the ideas of like the internet, like they have access, and I'm sure there are like queer sectors there, but I certainly don't know of them and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just like I'm not familiar with what they actually have, but I'm sure, of course, there's queer people. But my impression is that not a lot is more out compared to like someone who's like in the United States who there's specific cities that's more comfortable for people to be out. Yeah.
I definitely assume there's some in Vietnam, 100%. But
Yeah.
sorry, in Thailand. Sorry, it's Thailand, like Bangkok and stuff. But Vietnam, like I never been to Vietnam. Yeah, I never been to Vietnam. So, like, again, when I do go to Vietnam, because that's one of my destinations I want to go to. I want to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask you about like what kind of pho, where can I get like some good food? Like, is it like I know there's like northern pho, there's southern pho. Like when I go to Vietnam, like food spots. That's my thing. So you mentioned Ho Chi Minh City. I know you weren't in Ho Chi Minh City. You're like outside of Ho Chi Minh City.
That's where the airport is.
That's
for sure.
Okay.
That's gonna be where the airport when you're finally landing in Vietnam. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So definitely like in the capital, of course, like Ho Chi Minh City. Technically, some people say Saigon, but for the non-communist girlies, it's Ho Chi Minh. It's all around the city. Like there's street vendors everywhere that can give you that authentic experience with say like for tourists and travelers who want to like partake, and it's like super dirt cheap, like hella cheap for like any of these street vendors. So if anything, what you would have to worry as a foreigner traveling and whatnot is pickpocketers and people overcharging you because they know that you coming from like a Western world, you probably have more means because your dollar goes way more in like a country like that.
Yeah. So the dollar conversion, if I brought like $10 US, am I good for the whole day?
For the whole day, yeah. I think so. Hell yeah.
For the whole day,
like,
I can
it's
either
truly
breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe have some snacks in between.
Say like one meal there from like any street corner vendor who's charging like their local prices as they come to it. You're literally paying like 50 cents max for like a meal. Based on US dollars, I would say 50 cents. Like legit.
Okay.
Yeah, your money will definitely go way longer over like places like Vietnam, Thailand,
Yeah. I plan on going on a cruise with my wifey, so I'm like, I want to do like that Asian cruise with the Norwegian. Yeah, so I plan on doing that. I plan on doing that.
They have a cruise line like that? I didn't know.
Yeah, it's called Norwegian cruise or something. Norwegian cruises. A buddy at my work was telling me about it because he goes like on cruises all the time. Like he's like he has a fetish for cruises, so he loves them. And he's telling me about Norwegian cruise and like how they do like one in Europe, they have one in the Caribbean, one for Alaska. I'm like, I'm down for the one in Asia. Down because like the one in Asia goes to like Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Korea, Japan, goes to Philippines, and then it ends back in like Hong Kong. And I'm like, oh my God, it's over like 10 days, 14 days. So again,
that's so cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm a big foodie. I'm a huge foodie. So everywhere I go, I like to eat. I like to see especially the culture, but in order to get to know the culture, you got to eat the food, right? And so I want to ask you, do you eat Vietnamese food majority of the time, or do you eat Vietnamese food like half the time? Is that your favorite type of food per se?
Like right now,
right now, Sass right now.
No. I would say we will have it maybe like a few times per month max, when we're like craving something like pho or something,
Yeah.
I would say because especially after moving out of like my mom's household, she would be the one that would cook all the damn time, right? And would like provide that specific Vietnamese cuisine constantly, even like the day-to-day normal stuff, like a braised pork with rice and like a boiled egg, right? But since moving out, and I don't know how to cook Vietnamese food. I wish I did, and of course there's still time to learn, but I don't think I have immediate access to even like the appropriate storage around me
Yeah.
to be able to like fully cook like a decently authentic Vietnamese meal. You know what I mean? So if anything, the things I cook is usually like the basic stuff, like stir fries. I can do it with rice. Think like pasta, baked goods. You know that I can dabble and make and whatnot. But specifically Vietnamese food, no, it's like a fraction of the time.
So when you go out with your husband, like where do you go? Like where's like what's your like comfort food? Like your
Hot
go-to?
pot. Hot pot
Hot
for
pot?
sure. My
Hey, there's nothing wrong
direct
with hot
community
pot.
members.
Yo,
Like soul emotional knows, like
Yeah.
we had gone for my birthday weekend over here, and that was like the spot that I had planned for like the big kind of like sit down restaurant experience with everyone, was like our favorite hot pot / Korean barbecue place. So there's that. There's like the basic, you know, Western stuff, Cheesecake Factory, seafood boil places. That's also one of my go-tos. Even though my husband doesn't like seafood at all, he'll get like a chicken tender basket, for example. But things like that, you know what I mean? It's like I'm eating way more. I'm still eating a lot of like diverse foods in general, but like a fraction of it. We're never like going to like a sit-down restaurant to enjoy like a Vietnamese meal, because we usually would just like order takeout from them like online. Ironically, G Silver's mom's birthday is very, very soon. She wants to go out, like sit down for pho somewhere. So I'll be doing that soon. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right. So when in Vietnam, there's this thing called like northern pho and southern pho. There's like this thing. Like, have you tried both?
I'm trying to remember if I did with northern pho. I don't think I have. I think it's also specifically, it's not like the same as say like North and South Korea, but there is kind of like that sentiment when it comes to like communism, where unless you have people moving out of the area going to say the South, for example, right? Not technically defectors, but like, you know, if they happen to just decide to move, you won't really have much access to the different like regional stuff like that unless people just somehow know about it and learn how to cook it. Yeah, so I can't immediately tell you the direct differences in between the culture as well as like the cuisine, besides like the communism aspect.
Oh, I see. Man, I would just love to try northern pho. Man, I'm a pho guy. Yo, Sass, let me just tell you something. When I first, let me just tell you something real quick. So when I first signed up to Instagram, like when the Instagram first came out, I would post pho pics like all the time. I don't know what it was.
Just pho?
Just like, pho. I don't know. I had like this obsession.
Was it like a foodie account first?
Yeah, it was like, yeah. So, no. It's just it was my real name, right? But like literally everything. Like I swear, like 2012 to 2014, it was nothing but pho. Like I was living in Vancouver at the time in British Columbia. West Coast, right? And I would order just, oh man, there was like a big Asian community in Vancouver. It was like Korean, Japanese, Chinese. Yeah. Oh my God, Vietnamese, you know.
And
everything.
You happen to go pho places all the time?
Bro, I went to pho places. Oh my God, Sass, I would go to pho places. Like I would
personally be like sick of it.
Oh,
to a point. I can be sick of it. Ironically, though, I could never be sick of hot pot. I can eat literally hot pot every day, like Chinese style or like I kind of like Vietnamese style, but it's much more sour based on the broth. That's a food I can definitely eat almost like every single day.
So you don't like spice? You don't like spicy?
Oh no, I do.
Oh, you do like spicy?
Yeah, the places we usually go to is more like the Chinese variety. Like I love like Szechuan mala sauce, anything like numb my mouth. You know what I mean? That's usually my go-to. But otherwise, like a safe choice would be like tomato beef brisket broth for like the non-spicy girls.
Oh,
so between me and G Silver, we usually have the half and half of those two. For example,
does your husband like it spicy?
He does. Yeah, the only thing he won't eat is again seafood, because when his mom was pregnant with him, she could not had even like a small speck of like seafood like at all. So I think somehow that kind of like also transferred over to him as like literally as a grown adult, but ever since a kid too, he just never could eat or stomach seafood, as well as mayonnaise, which is so ironic.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah. I don't know why he can't have any version of it either. So he'll eat anything else at least once. Yeah.
Ketchup is what about ketchup?
No, yeah, ketchup's fine.
Ketchup's
It's
fine.
just mayonnaise.
Ketchup's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
ketchup's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would like to move on to Twitch. I want to talk about
Okay.
you started off in like as a Twitch streamer. I
Mm.
want to talk about in general like your general sense of like how you got into like content creation. Like before, okay, let me just start off before Twitch. Like I'm interested in like
Ooh.
seeing like if you were like in during the MySpace days or like how early did you join social media? It was like Facebook. Like what was your first like
Yes.
instance or entrance into social media? Like how did that turn out?
Yeah, the first realist thing was like AIM messaging. That was my first kind of like instant message program back in the day. And I knew at least at the time, even a few years, like when I was in elementary school, a lot of say Asian friends that I know or Asian people, like my sister and whatnot, they had Zanga accounts, but I never had one.
Whoa.
Specifically though, after AIM, a few years of that, I think that's when like a lot of my friends they then dabble between both MySpace and then definitely the early days of Facebook. Like we all had made a Facebook account by the time it got kind of like more and more popular, right? But my first real like social media thing was like MySpace, and I don't know if you had this experience or anyone else in chat had this experience, but you know, you share your like login accounts with your friends, and they quote unquote hack you. They post a picture of themselves in like your dashboard or whatever, be like XOXO, I hack Sass, you know, he's my bestie, don't come for her, and things like that. It's like stupid stuff like that. That's what I distinctly remember. But I would say when it comes to content creation, I was one of those girlies who did AMVs back in the day for YouTube.
Oh, so like you did like anime
Early day.
or yeah.
Animated music videos like, between like my specific experience was like video games, right? So again, obsessed with Final Fantasy, like 10, 2, Kingdom Hearts, Xenosaga and whatnot, just all sorts of games that I made AMVs, anime music videos to like a song, right?
Right.
People back in the day. And so that was my first form of content creation where I dabbled in like video editing and, you know, how to download files and using editing programs. There's Windows Movie Maker, Sony Vegas, you know, that you like pirate off of like LimeWire or something like that. That was yes. That was me doing that as a middle school student.
Oh my god.
AMV videos. So that was like first real like content creation era. And then I really kind of like stopped for a while going through high school. And then early college, I then kind of tried to become like a YouTuber, but then got burnt out quite fast with like filming videos and editing videos in like that different capacity. You know, filming yourself and talking about something or ranting about something. I used to do that as well, but it didn't go too far with like that era. And then fast forward to now, after like being more of a grown adult, you know, working full-time experience and whatnot, it was a pandemic that I'm sure a lot of people kind of like got more involved in a digital way when it comes to like online content creation, 100%. Including streaming. And so for me, I had already had a few friends in my like direct like circles, you know, some of my good friends, including Rookie Kev. Rookie Kev was actually the first person I'm pretty sure I followed on Twitch. Because we had known each other for a while. And when I saw that he finally went on Twitch streaming, and I was like, you know, I'm bored. Let me pull up Twitch and see one of his streams, for example. And then from there, it just cascaded to more and more like following people that were really, really cool. And then friends encouraging me to also stream as well. And side note, specifically, I used to always side-eye Twitch because G Silver specifically, I think between say like 2017 to 2020, he would like pull up someone's stream on Twitch, and I'm like, why are you watching a person playing a video game? like,
you thought it was weird. You thought it was weird. Like, yeah.
Why is this a thing? You know what I mean? Yeah. And now I get it. Now I for sure get it. But back then I would always be like, you know, why is this like an interest? And he's like, oh, it was always nice to have like background noise and stuff like that. And fast forward, right, between like following my actual friends who did their own like Twitch streams and whatnot, I got the bug basically from
Okay.
like being in chat and being a member of someone's community and like understanding like the benefits that it provided to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it fully got me to like finally start. And I finally started July 2021, July 31st, 2021.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I was
It's
like,
been over 4.
I'm pretty much the same way. Like I didn't know anything about Twitch, but I got COVID at the end of like 2021, like literally December.
Mhm.
And once I got COVID, I was like playing a whole bunch of video games. And I was like, I was like, man, I play like a whole bunch of video games. I was like talking to myself, like, man, I wish I could
Yeah.
share this experience with other people. And that's like what I started off with. I started off with just going live. I didn't even know anything about Twitch. I didn't know about Discord. I didn't know about nothing. I didn't have this headset, but I didn't have a mic or anything like that. So I would use like my old like black Xbox headset and just like a shitty, Logitech camera. And I would just go live. I would stream directly from my Xbox. I would not have like a Streamlabs or Lightstream or anything like that. I had nothing to nothing. So I would just go live, and I didn't care. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have fun playing these single player games. And it just like this thing grew, and I grew to love it. I grew to enjoy it. And I did ASMR for a bit. Now I separated that to another channel.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's like kind of like a casual thing that I do. It first was a redeem on my channel. Now it's just a casual thing I do on the off chance that I get to do it. And then now this like whole thing with podcasting, and now I want to like explore IRL, so this whole thing is like evolving. But at the end of the day, my main thing that I love doing is gaming and like playing single player games. And I noticed that you play a lot of like Persona.
Come on now.
Come
on now.
You love Final Fantasy. So, and you mentioned Kingdom Hearts. And so I would like to ask you, like, what was your influence like when it comes to gaming, like growing up? Like what did you gravitate towards growing up when it comes to gaming? I assume it was like something like, anime-ish, because you did like all those AMVs. Did you do like a video game AMV? Kind of like, you watch like Final Fantasy, that movie Advent Children, and like you like cut it up and like made like a music video out of it, which a lot of people did. A lot of people Sass took like the cinematics from Final Fantasy and
or any cutscenes or like the movie cutscenes from like video. So for sure, that was all in my at least early days of like AMV making. I would say specifically what got me into video games in general was, I think between anime and like being friends with people who were already dabbling in video games. One of the earliest video games I can remember that I had is like Super Nintendo 64, and like Pokemon everything. Like I had Pokemon everything, at least what I can remember. So I think for sure that really was like my first true gaming experience, between that and like maybe like Super Mario, or something like that. And Pokemon specifically definitely like drove that love for like RPGs for me, JRPGs and stuff like that. And I knew at the time a lot of other friends who, I didn't have a PlayStation 1 before, but my friends or other people who were a little bit older, they had that experience with like the original PlayStation, and they had, of course, all the Final Fantasy games back in those days, at least. So I'm thinking like 7, 8, 9 and whatnot. I got to like see them play and got like immersed in it and be like, this looks so cool, right? But for sure, my real love for JRPGs, besides like Pokemon, came from like my PlayStation 2, which is like my first true, like I can remember anything and everything that I played on PlayStation 2, and it was Final Fantasy X being my most favorite game ever. And finally, like hype around it too, like me playing it, but also like other friends playing it and seeing how they do their specific journeys with it and whatnot. It looked really, really cool, and the graphics look really, really cool, right? And as a little kid, I was like probably like 9 or 10 or something like that, playing a game of that caliber, and I'm like fully just immersed and falling in love with the genre because of it. And so that then grew and stayed with me forever, because I love, again, playing like those JRPGs on stream, like those single player story driven games for my content primarily. Is
Right.
like games like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like to cosplay as any of the characters that you are like? Do you play?
Ooh.
Like, do you?
In my head, I would
Are you
love
big
to.
cosplay?
I wish
Are
I
you-
was.
You seem
The
like a
only
cosplayer.
time-
So I don't know.
The
You seem
only
like a
time
cosplayer.
I had ever cosplayed was for Anime Boston. It was my first real experience going, and I cosplayed as like Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender.
Oh.
You know, because at the time I had like ponytail hair,
Yeah.
and it was a fairly simple costume to make with the help of a friend. And I had already say LLB boots for my like snow boots, so it just came together real quick and something like very very makeshift. That was the only time I fully wanted like or had cosplayed. But in my head, I would be like those like main characters all the time, and I would love to dress in those clothes and be living as those characters. But I never had like the true like experience or like the creativity to like make it come to life on my own. Besides just playing like the video games.
So I want to ask you. I always ask this to people. I want to hear your top 3 anime. I want to hear your top 3 TV shows. I want to hear your top 3 movies, and I want to hear your top 3 video games. So
hard.
yeah, so you got to give me 3. 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Your top 3.
Okay.
Your
I
top
would say
3 anime.
let's start with anime. So
Okay, go ahead.
the first anime I ever watched and still has like great meaning to me was like Inuyasha, because I remember specifically waking up early.
Inuyasha.
You're seeing the openings or the endings right when the episodes start or end, and I'm like, oh, I can only stay for like 15 minutes of episode, but you have to like catch my bus to school or go take the subway to school, right?
It's
So,
like that
definitely
opening.
Inuyasha.
I want to change the world.
Exactly. Or is it My Will Dream? That's like the first. I forgot if that's the first opening or ending ever in Inuyasha, but that song is like, of course, a freaking bop, right?
Yeah. Or that one that goes like Boku Dashi wa.
Yes, that one too. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those iconic endings is so good.
Like waking up at 3
Inuyasha.
a.m. Those memes. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah,
When you said
definitely
Inuyasha, I
Inuyasha.
was like, wow.
Just because I'm so attuned with the series, not Boruto, but Naruto Shippuden is like hands down one of my favorites of all time. And then the third, I always go back to series like Death Note. I can watch Death Note like at least once a year and not
That's
be
the
sick
shit.
of it.
That's
a
best,
immediate classic.
One of the best animes that is like pure talking with no action.
Yeah,
like Death Note. That
like,
to
let me
me,
be dramatic, eating this like last piece of potato chip. You know?
Yeah, and it makes it so epic.
Yeah,
makes it so dramatic.
I would say those 3, but otherwise, both me and G Silver, we also watch like the current stuff as well. Mostly like shonen, like the action-packed stuff. Okay. For the most part.
All right. And your
which category next?
3. Okay, we'll do TV shows. Live action TV shows. Let's go.
Let's go. TV shows.
Yeah.
That's hard. I'm thinking just a lot of like childhood stuff that I grew up and really enjoy. For sure, like That's So Raven. Like I have That's So Raven specific alerts on my streams that I really love. And try to think what else. I don't know. You can't beat SpongeBob. SpongeBob's classic. For some reason, Soul knows. Every time we like meet up like IRL and we do like our big like trips together, whether it's not for like a friend's birthday or TwitchCon, for example, we always come up with like another SpongeBob meme that sticks for us that we always reference. So I would say SpongeBob has a lot more meaning to me, especially now as a grown adult. Third show's hard. Sorry, you also said live action. I said SpongeBob.
I know. I don't really care. It's like kind of open. Like SpongeBob is like such a good show too. You know, it's such a classic.
I'm trying to think of like another classic I really love. I grew up specifically on. Oh, okay, I got one. Not live action, but it's like a fundamental cartoon. For me is Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Cartoon Network.
What is that?
That's my kind of show. Cartoon Network?
No.
Grim Adventure of Billy and Mandy?
I've never heard of that.
Come on. Come
What?
on.
Whoa! Is
Blasian.
this an American thing? Whoa! Whoa, Sass.
You must have it in
Whoa,
like
something.
Canadian channels.
Wait, Grim Adventures of who?
Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy?
Yes. And so they're two kids. They make friends with a Green Reaper who give them powers or, supernatural entries into that world. And the Grim Reaper is voiced by a black Jamaican man and is amazing.
Whoa!
Yes.
I don't think. Well, maybe I have seen it, but I don't. This is like the same
That's a
style as like
classic
Powderpuff
Cartoon
Girls
Network?
or like what do you? Oh man, like that.
Hold on. Wait, we're talking about Canadian. You definitely know 16. 16? That's a
16?
Canadian cartoon.
I'm
Please.
I'm sorry. What?
Does anyone in chat know these shows I'm talking
I
about?
don't know.
Come
I don't know.
on.
No, yo, people in chat, 16, like Canadian. Oh, okay. I've seen this one. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I've
okay.
seen 16. I've seen 16. Okay. Like I have to see the show, but like I don't remember. Like maybe it's because I wasn't into like this type. Like I was watching like around this time. It was like this is 2004. So around this time, I was watching like Canadian live action shows like Edgemont, Breaker High. I don't know if you heard about
Degrassi?
those. Degrassi, no. Ain't nobody like. Oh man, I was not watching Degrassi. No. I'd rather watch
Gotcha.
something a little bit more real, more raw, a little bit more goofy. Degrassi wasn't doing it for me.
For me, live actions really primarily came from like Disney Channel. Like I grew
Okay.
up on shows like That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana. Kind of like that was like the prime era for me when it comes to like live action shows.
Did you like
Otherwise, like I did like backtrack to like
Seinfeld?
shows like Friends and stuff like that,
Friends? Yeah, Friends. Seinfeld
Yeah.
for me. That 70s show.
Like I knew of it, but I think because I was still like in elementary school, I couldn't grasp what they were like actually like talking about or like the themes they were going for. So for me, it was more on me once I became an adult with like say like a Netflix account or when streaming started, where I kind of had to do backup homework and go see these shows, these classic shows that people revere so much, and going backwards to like stream from top to bottom. And I remember finally watching Friends for the first time as like a 19-year-old, like from season 1 all the way to 10, and then I rewind all the way to 1 because I became obsessed. So I think it's just timing wise. I didn't get to like see those shows until I was more of an adult.
What about like television dramatic shows like Breaking Bad, for example, or CSI, or
Ooh, yeah.
like those type of shows, like The Wire, for example, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Rome.
I wish I got into The Wire, but I would say thanks to Netflix, I was obsessed with 24. And then when it came to like the weekly show, seeing them live on TV, like, not to be basic and whatnot, but Glee was like the show for me at the time. But there was also some of the more kind of recent stuff would be like How to Get Away with Murder.
Good show.
I'm trying to think. Like I knew of General Hospital, but I never fully got into General Hospital, you know what I mean? But like 24 was that really, really like big first show I can remember that I really liked. On at least on American TV.
So your top 3 favorite movies?
Movies is hard. I say this one's more recent, but first one ever would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just because
I've not seen that. I gotta see that.
You gotta be kidding me.
I've not seen that. I
Michelle
I want
Yeoh,
to see it. I know Michelle Yeoh is killing it.
Yeah,
I know Michelle.
No.
I love
that was
Michelle
her big
Yeoh.
that was her big comeback film. Next to then Wicked, right? I feel like that was the first film that really brought her back to the attention, and of course that got her like her first Oscar. You know what I mean, as Best Actress. And it's more recent, right? It came out I want to say 2022, something like that at this point.
I heard about it.
And the reason why is like one of my top favorites is because there's such a huge queer storyline within an Asian household in that film. Even though it's like all supernatural, there's like all sorts of like timelines and universe and whatnot that they're navigating, but it's centered on like this person who is like navigating their queer identity, and their parents isn't like accepting of it or something like that, or like there's such a disconnect because of like that cultural difference.
Right.
Growing up in like a Western world, and I was like, oh, perfect. This is like things I fully, can relate to and resonate with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that's like for sure my top movie ever. I'm trying to think other movies that kind of like make that kind of impact, or even like what's in like my childhood. You know what I mean? I like Mulan just because it was Asian. Disney channel, Disney movie.
Yeah. We must be swift as a
that's
coursing
something.
river, with all the force
Right.
of a great typhoon, with all the
See, I
strength
can't
of a
sing. You can
raging
sing for me.
fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
I
better serve
fucking
them
love that
vocals.
song. I
Yeah.
fucking love that song. Okay.
There's that, and
so-
also of course like
yeah.
Reflection, Christina Aguilera and whatnot.
Reflection's
Um,
good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think a third movie. It's really really basic, but again, because I grew up on like the Disney Channel,
Yeah.
the biggest movie that really had a hold on me, that also kind of technically had a queer storyline, at the time, would be like High School Musical.
Okay.
Like I knew like dance choreos. I bought the soundtrack. Like I was obsessed.
Okay.
As like a freaking 12, 13-year-old watching that movie or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really stuck out. But for me,
Oh.
when it came to like movie theater going, my first true movie that I watched, it was always between these two. It was like Mean Girls with my family, which is wild, and then also the Lizzie McGuire movie. Those two were like my first two earliest movies I've ever sat down in a movie theater watching.
Ah.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
I never watched Lizzie McGuire. I have watched Mean Girls though, for obvious reasons. I was
Yeah.
like literally like back then I was like attracted to every single girl in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I was
The
like,
classic.
"Goddamn." Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very good classic. Do you have any like gay films that you recommend? Like, I know I watched Brokeback Mountain back in the day.
I still haven't
but
watched
is it-
that, funny enough.
You haven't watched Brokeback Mountain?
I knew the premise of it, and I knew it was like such a big thing when it first came out for like, Oscar buzz and whatnot, but no, I never watched it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew
Okay.
of its significance at least, but I never watched it myself. Because again, it came
Yeah.
out when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. If you have any gay films that you recommend, let me know because I
Yeah.
like to check them out, especially on Netflix.
Oh, immediately now you have to
Right.
do everything ever.
Moonlight, yeah,
all at
Moonlight.
once.
I love Moonlight.
Moonlight
So,
is good.
yeah, Moonlight is fucking amazing.
Meow, you ate
fucking
with that.
amazing.
Moonlight is really, really good.
Oh my god, Moonlight. I was like,
Trying to
god
think,
damn,
trying to think.
that's how you do it. That's how you do
Yeah.
it. Like a lot of like stuff that is kind of like that I watch is like kind of pushing it, but like films like Moonlight really know how to like subtly do it. They're not pushing it, but it's like really like getting into the nitty gritty of like the reality. I'm like, okay,
Like
this
it's not camp, and I think like a lot
Yeah.
of things is like gay people love camp. I think that's why so many movies are like involving something of that line. Like we love camp, we love exaggerations, things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But kind of like these more Oscar worthy buzz movies like Moonlight, like Everything Ever All at Once, I of course would highly recommend to anybody. I just totally forgot about it, so thank you, Meow, for mentioning it in chat. I'm trying to think another third movie I can't think on the top of my head that I really loved. Everyone's gooning for Wicked right now. They're excited for the next movie. I know I am, but like that's a big thing that's technically people are wishing will include more and more queerness into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So now I want to move into music because I know
Okay,
you mentioned.
yes.
Yeah, you mentioned it that you are a second gen K-pop connoisseur.
Fan, yes.
You're a
Yes,
fan.
yes.
So
Mhm.
walk me through this because the second gen K-pop era was like 2003 to 2012, right?
Yes. Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
you
between,
guys- so
it's,
you
like,
had,
it's
like-
like a big gap. It's a big
Yeah. So you had like 2 and 1, I think. Big Bang.
21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Bang,
20
yeah.
Is it 21? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Big Bang. So
I
like,
would say they go both, but it depends on.
okay.
fan.
So why is that era the best era of K-pop, like compared to today?
Yes. Okay. It's so funny because I think just recently watched a YouTube video kind of like describing why K-pop today is so. It's kind of more let's say self-serving, because it's a boom of an industry, right? And people like gravitate towards it for like its aesthetics and whatnot. But back then it was so, at least to me, or like to Seoul, for example, is so more underground. Because back then music in like Japan and in South Korea and whatnot was not readily available, right? We didn't have streaming. What you had to do was cop songs from like YouTube Downloader, LimeWire, or these specific fan sites that Soul will show you, definitely know what they are, that you had to really be in the know of in order to consume the music.
Okay.
And specifically, there's such a big difference now because it was so less like westernized. I would say that. Like K-pop today definitely has more like a straight hip hop R&B feel. Even though of course that was like always going to be the inspiration for first generation and second generation K-pop in general, and of course throughout. But I think it's compared to today. Back then it was fully just like vast majority Korean lyrics. They have a specific sound, or each debuting artist or group had their own like concept that they didn't care if it essentially failed or not. They just wanted their own unique, charm that they bring to their audience upon debut, and maintaining that or growing with the fans, right? But now it's so like, I would say sanitized to Western listeners immediately upon debut.
Because
so
they
the songs
include like what's Western? Okay, so like I notice a
Yeah.
lot of K-pop nowadays include like a lot of English lyrics.
Yes, exactly. So it's things like
Yeah.
that, right? So like you could tell like the trends and also the type of music they're doing. They're leaning to more Y2K, more hip hop, more than ever. I would say, especially after New Jeans impact, but specifically way more international appeal with English lyrics primarily upon debut, which of course I get, because again, we're living in a streaming era of music and everything's much more accessible. But back then you had more of a niche sound, and people back then were not scared to just be unique in terms of like how they debut, like details of like the members themselves or the sound that they're going with. Like they have their lane that they chose to debut with and stick to. And now everyone nowadays is just like the kind of like the rinse and repeat of the sounds with vast majority English lyrics,
Okay, so they're not being original.
They're not being original. Yeah, everyone.
Okay.
There's constantly like debuting girl groups, boy groups, or just solo artists that's not providing a unique charm to themselves anymore, because they sound like it can be like replaced by each other. You know what I mean? Like one group or one artist can do this other song that this other person just debut with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not unique anymore. It's very, very just saturated.
So BTS and Blackpink, for example, compared to like 21 and Big Bang, like you think is BTS like better than like are they like now like the group that the K-pop group that people gravitate towards? Like is it popular? Are they popular now? Like I'm just kind of like, when it comes to K-pop, like I'm just kind of okay. BTS, Blackpink, they're like the most popular, but Big Bang and 21, they're not really popular anymore. Are they gonna fade out? Like I don't really hear too much about them anymore.
I would say it's because if you're a fan of K-pop, you know that they essentially have like cycles, and one of the curses that fans know and companies alike know is that any new boy group or girl group, when they sign, they're active for like 7 years max. Right.
Okay.
And there's a lot of say connotations to that specific 7-year contract. Detail is like, if you're from like a very, very like not known small company, you could be, as an artist, you're signing it and you're like training it with that company and you're debuting and whatnot, is that they can basically be in like quote unquote a slave contract, where basically they're not making any money. They're not making any money upon their debut and activities because they're not popular enough. And the hope is that you do, right? But specifically, if you don't, then you're basically always going to be conceptually like in debt to the company forever because you're not making any money due to not having enough popularity.
Oh wow.
Especially if not part of like the really, really bigger companies. Like there's right now, there's a big four, fans would say, that is currently like the big ones in K-pop. But I would say specifically when it comes to that comparison, say like Big Bang and 21 versus like BTS and Blackpink, it's just a matter of the timing of when they debuted, plus like the globalization and the streaming era that they have entered into that really built their popularity. And that's right, it's such a huge thing to really make distinct the different eras when it comes to K-pop.
Right.
Back then, right, the Big Bang and 21 girlies, like, again, you had to be like in the know and be underground. Of course, like you have like, as say like from late 2000s and onward, these companies have their own YouTube channels. The music videos are there finally, but back then it was a struggle for fans in general because you had to have like basically like these fan friends accounts uploading the stuff technically illegally for people to like view and see. And it was really just more underground back then. So I think it's not just like the hype, but it's more like the popularity is thanks to more access between the eras.
You know what? You know what happened, Sass? You know what happened, Sass?
What?
You know what happened? Psy happened! Oppa Gundam style! Boom! That's how I discovered.
And I just heard a podcast today talking about Psy's Gundam style. Yeah.
Oh my god! You know, that was the really the way in for me when it comes to like opening the doors for like K-pop. Like I don't know, I know Psy.
But for a lot of people,
Psy?
yeah.
Well, yeah. What do you consider Psy? What do you consider Psy? He's K-pop? Like what is he? Like what is he?
No, he definitely is, and he's still technically big. Although with his own company right now, like years later, there's been a lot of drama with his mismanaging of his own artists.
Oh.
But he's still very much a household name, still to this day. I'm sure a lot of people remember like Gangnam Style and whatnot. And I do agree with you, right? Kind of like that turning point, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Especially with Gangnam Style being so huge as it was back then, that led to a greater consciousness of like what K-pop is, at least, right? Not so like, okay, is this like sustainable? But at least people know that there's a genre of music that's there that they're being introduced to for the first time. Yeah. We call it the Hallyu wave between like that kind of like second gen into that third gen, between like everything before 2012 into like the mid 2010s. That was like all thanks to like a lot of the work from like the second generation artists who like were gaining so much popularity over time. And then you have like something like Psy coming out and just like really like pushing it even further, you know what I mean? Into like international appeal.
Yeah.
So that's the Hallyu wave as like fans and Korean culture, they would say.
I remember when Psy came out and everybody was doing the gut, like it was like, when Soulja Boy was doing like the you like that, like like that whole dance culture, like oh man, that was like the next one was like Oppa Gundam style, and everybody was doing it. And I remember just like my mom was doing it. My mom is not on the internet, by the way. She's like never was on the internet. For some reason, she knew about it. Yeah, she knew about it. She was like doing Oppa Gundam styles. Like, what? How do you know about this shit? So I was just like in awe about like, okay, so this guy is like growing. He's like getting into it, and then like I started to see a lot of like other K-pop, songs and music, but I wasn't really too deep. I wasn't like going balls deep into it. I was kind of like, seeing it from the outside, not really like going in, and just like watching Psy and watching his growth majority of the time, because I wasn't really I'm not a big K-pop guy. So I want to ask you, Sass, if you are not a K-pop person, if you're going to be recommending music to someone who doesn't listen to K-pop at all, like someone who just doesn't like know about it, nothing, like someone who's just like, what is K-pop? And you'll be like, oh, you don't know what K-pop is? Well, I'll give you have to listen to this, and this. We'll do 3. Your 3 recommendations for people who don't know nothing about K-pop. Yeah. Nothing. They ask, what is K-pop? Okay, let me give you these 3 musicians or artists or bands that will definitely get you into it. So
I would give the popular acts, of course, people know is like BTS and Blackpink, but I'm not gonna include them because I rather give a recommendation that really pertains to like the classics, but also like the trailblazers within the genre. So New Jeans, although of course they're in the middle of like a huge legal contract dispute with their company, I think they are like the latest example of like trendsetters and trailblazers because they debuted around like 2022, and
I've never heard of them.
and after them, legit, I'm telling you, Blasian, literally after everything after them, so many groups, concepts, debuting people, they now do the Y2K sound, kind of like that, like video gamey sound, early 2000s kind of vibe. It's all thanks to New Jeans.
Okay.
It's all thanks to New Jeans. So literally, there's so many basically like copycats of New Jeans out there right now because of them debuting with such a, at the time, different concept for everybody. And that's like the more, I would say, easily digestible for people. Like you're always gonna like some kind of like the R&B or Y2K feel that they provide for people. So I would say New Jeans anything.
Is that the K-pop group that did the advertisement for Old Navy or American Apparel?
Oh no, the most recent one, that's Cat's Eye. Yeah, Cat's Eye is K-pop adjacent. They did the Gap commercial that you're talking about.
Oh, Gap commercial. That's it. That Gap commercial. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I would say they're widely popular. I would say now, especially from earlier this year, but they are not necessarily K-pop. They just use the K-pop system of like trainees. They technically had a survival show, which became more of a thing in the third generation and onward concept, but it was through Western companies kind of like using that same strategy to get girls globally and like talent scout and then train them and make them do competitions with each other to then be able to debut.
Yeah, because I know for a fact it's like their group is like multicultural. Like you got like one. Yeah. Are they all Korean? Like I know one of them is not Korean. I know one of them is not Korean.
One of them is.
The dark skinned one, is she controversial. Korean?
Yoon Chae, the youngest one. Yeah. She's Korean.
She's Korean. Is she like Blasian or something? Bro, she looks. Bro, I swear. I was like, there's no way she's Korean. I was like, there's no way.
They have 4 Asian girlies. Yoon Chae, if you look her up, she looks straight Korean.
Oh my god. Really?
Yes.
God damn.
The only full Korean person on the lineup, which I think was controversial to fans because people are like following along like week by week the voting and like how well they do in the rounds for the competition for the survival show. And they think that the company only chose Yoon Chae for the final lineup and maybe rig the voting because they want to still have someone be an appeal to the K-pop people, like Korean people, you know?
Oh.
But for sure, she's full Korean.
She's full Korean. Okay, because
But there's four Asian girls in Japan, which is why we love them so much too.
Okay.
They have a Filipino one, a Filipina, Sophia. Laura's Indian, and Megan is like half Chinese, half Hawaiian. So.
Oh wow!
It's a very internationally appealing group, you know.
And they all speak Korean?
No. Oh god.
Oh, okay. So okay. So you got New Jeans.
Yep.
So the second one is.
I would say 21. Like 21. Know 21.
Yeah, 21.
It's 21 for sure.
Yeah.
Trailblazers in terms of like what we call the girl crush concept.
Okay.
Plus, they just know how to perform, stage presence, talents, and vocals, which is such a 180 to a lot of the groups now who are debuting, where they're not really trained to be vocalists anymore. While second gen back then, they had to be singers. But these later gens, and especially groups now, they're not really true singers. Like they're not trained to be singers. They're trained to be just performers and dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not vocalists.
Yeah. Sorry, Sass, but like when I'm looking at these groups, I'm like 2 of them like are singing. Maybe 3, and there's like 8 of them. And my god, yo,
sometimes more.
I'm like, wait, hold on. I was like, how could I know maybe you can distinguish who is who, but I could not distinguish who is who. I think BTS came to Canada one time, and it was like, I was working at the place that they were. I'm not gonna say the place that they were performing at, but like I was working in that area, and man, it was just all girls. It was like like a majority of them were women, and they all were holding up like these like
signs,
blown up like posters of like the different members.
Their favorite members.
Yeah, like I remember someone was holding up like Jun. Is it Jungkook? I don't know, Jungkook. Yeah, Jungkook or I don't know, whatever. Like, and they Jungkook and some other dude, and like I could not tell who is who.
The difference.
And, yeah, because like they all had like blue eyes. I don't understand. Like, do Koreans like have
crazy?
Yeah, blue eyes. Like, are they born like that? Do they put that in there? Like, what is up with this? What is up with this whole aesthetic? What is going on? Just be you.
Some of them do. Some of them do the contacts. Yes, I think it's like they're selling an aesthetic depending on like their eras, right? So with like a new album release or whatnot. What's exciting for K-pop fans is that usually it comes with a new aesthetic. Okay. And some people stay stagnant where they stay like the same one all the time, right? But vast majority of groups and whatnot, they usually are planning specific concepts or aesthetics upon the teasers and the trailers leading up to like a musical video release and the album release, things like that. Okay. So it's very specific. And I think when it comes to like styling, such as contacts usage, not everyone does it. I would say more so, especially this generation, they don't really do that. Okay. But back then, it was just to like, you know, to feed into serving you a different aesthetic, something different with every new kind of like release era for the artist, for the group or solo artist.
Or like differentiating yourself from each member in the group. Because
it doesn't even work, right?
It doesn't even work. I was like,
I think the music the music should be like the leading factor to help like do that differentiation. Like, but I would say, unfortunately, people are more attuned due to the aesthetics more than anything over like true talent. Okay, so that's like, why me or Soul Emotional and Chad, my sister, she like, you know, we are like critical, right? Sometimes we like something, sometimes we have different views, but in the end, do we like enjoy the song at least? Is what we really dive deep into. Because otherwise, you can't really like cling into this artist if you're not liking the music in general. I don't care how well big budget they have for their music videos or whatever, you know, content they're giving you, but is the music good? And us being second gen fans, like that's what we always go back to. That's why we have such a, I would say, harsher mindset with like the later generations, especially the fans, because the fans have no appreciation for like the classics and the trailblazers of the previous eras, and they're very dismissive of it because they only are so like tunnel vision into like who their biases in a group and, you know, why they like this group or how much they hate this other group, for example, right? Without like really giving full critical thinking of like what led to this point in K-pop in general compared to like the other generations.
Do you feel as though that, you know, this is going way back because like when I was a kid in the 90s when we were kids, right? And we're watching like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, you know, B44. Have you heard of B44?
B44, no. Everyone else you mentioned, yes, not B44.
B44 is this Canadian like boy band group, and you're gonna laugh, Sass, but like they had this song. They had this song was like, if you get down on me, I'll get down on you. Oh yeah, I will do anything that you want me to. Yeah.
How young were they singing those lyrics?
They were old. They were like adults. They were adults singing it. And at the time, I was like, yo, this is great. If you get down on me, I'll get down on you. And then you grow up and you listen to the lyrics again, you're like, wait a minute, this is about oral sex. This is really,
right.
This is like, whoa.
But you as a kid, you're just vibing. You're like, yo,
this is good, you know? You know, it's like listening to like Backstreet Boys. They get down, and move it all around. How do you feel as though that era really inspired the K-pop era? Because before the second gen, there was first gen, right? And first gen, I have no idea who was the first K-pop.
You definitely, I say, because we're talking about Inuyasha before, you definitely know Boa.
Boa.
You definitely know Boa. Boa's like first generation fans always calls her like the mother of K-pop, even though
Okay.
she herself says like I don't feel like I deserve that, but she definitely like she pushed internationally between like China, Korea, and Japanese releases. Like she
Mm,
was the OG and still continues to make amazing music,
mm.
and still promote and
Crystal K as
still is
well.
active.
Is Chris-
Crystal K is Japanese,
okay.
right? And we love our Blasian Japanese. Although she's like
Yeah.
half Korean,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
is a J-pop. She's known as like J-pop girly, and I'm glad she just started her first tour in the United States and whatnot, which is so exciting.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So she's finally making a comeback, and I feel like she was in like a lot of like company contract issues with like when it comes to like the streaming era. Like her music wasn't really on streaming until
Yeah.
just recently, because finally something happened where they agreed to let her do that.
Mm-hmm.
So still all Trailblazers, but I would say to your original question, K-pop in general is heavily influenced by like black people, black culture. Specifically, it was the Motown records
Oh.
system of training people, signing people, training them young into artists, right? So think like Jackson 5,
Mm.
Michael Jackson, like all of
Mm.
that took years and years of training within a organization, company, label system. And so specifically, the trailblazers of K-pop were people, the CEOs of their companies who use that same system for the K-pop industry, for the music industry in Korea.
Okay.
So in
I didn't know that.
general,
Mhm.
yeah. So, girl, black people are like literally the culture makers of everything, especially I would say, especially K-pop.
Yeah.
Just on the surface, like for sure, like the impact is due to just black people back in the day, and also the music, the sound, right? Hip hop, R&B, like. These girlies are trained young. They sign in, they're trained, and they're using these songs, these classic songs that we know, right? Like Michael Jackson, Boys to Men, and stuff like that. And now, of course, more and more like modern artists, R&B classics, right? Like Ashanti, just to say more, but like it's all inspired from black influence, like for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when when someone, I'm pretty sure you know about this. You probably watch documentaries on this, but like, is there like a K-pop camp that like provides train like whoever you're signed to? Like, you're signed to like a K-pop camp. They train you, and then you go. They release you out into the world. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like K-pop groups that were released out into the world and they fail. Like they're like not making money. Maybe they're competing with other K-pop bands that are just they're better than them. Yeah, more popular. I like now that you have like nowadays it's expanded. You have for example in the Philippines there's this Filipino K-pop like band that's like called SB19. My wife listens to them a lot of the time.
They have a song that I love, Moonlight. They did
Moonlight?
that with like a producer that I really, really enjoy the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so familiar. They did Moonlight. Yeah.
So do you know the process of how to become a K-pop artist, like, or be in the K-pop group, or
companies in general in South Korea who are like K-pop companies, these labels they now host especially like global auditions. Like they have websites. People can sign up if you happen to live in the area in like different countries, right? It could be Canada, United States. Now they definitely went to like Philippines, Thailand, and not just South Korea anymore, right? Like it's literally anywhere. Australia even. That's why some of the girlies from Blackpink, they got their chance because it was like New Zealand and Australia. To be able to go to audition. Hopefully they get accepted and then they stay in training, like these camps basically where it's not just performance, right? Or all aspects of performance, but also which they need to do a better job of this. The culture, and of course language, and just like how to behave as a quote unquote idol. So all of that is kind of like essentially like the constant classes that these trainees, once they get accepted from an audition somewhere, they maintain and be consistent, and to the point where hopefully they get good marks from evaluations and be able to debut. So the latest example I can give you is, again, Cat's Eye, right? They had people like talent scout on like the internet, but also people who have heard of the program or auditioned for the program, and they literally, per the Netflix show, right, is following these girls who sign up to be training all the time in all aspects of like performance.
Okay. So like
For
singing,
hopefully
dancing,
debut. Yeah,
like
singing,
okay.
dancing,
Yeah.
rapping,
Mm.
and it's all, it's all graded. And then now there's such a trend for it's called produce level shows, producing like survival shows, basically, where trainees of all sorts of companies, they come together in the hopes of being the final lineup based on like fan voting and mentor voting that they have in the show,
Yeah.
to hopefully debut in the final lineup of a given survival show.
Mm.
So it's all like, that's why I mentioned when we first talking about K-pop, where it's kind of like eating itself
Mm.
from doing the same things over and over and over now, like such like
Mm.
these auditions and the survival shows, or like the
Yeah.
sounds they keep replicating,
Yeah.
rinse and wash and rinse and repeat and whatnot.
Mm.
That it's not feeling innovative anymore.
Mm. Mm.
Like there's not a lot of standouts anymore in terms of like even like debuts this year. And I think like me and my greater Twitch community and whatnot, we're not like remembering as much impactful like debuts anymore this year, right? We always go back to like groups that we know who are making a comeback and they have new albums or new music videos coming out primarily, and then we may check out some debuting groups if it happened to like make enough like noise. Say like in our Discord, if friends are posting like, oh, this is a debut I like and stuff like that, right? It gives us like reason to do reactions on stream for them. Otherwise, we're following people that we already like from previous years, for example.
Okay. Man, it's just, it seems so very, to me, when I look at it, I'm like, the reason why I like Psy was he wasn't really the type of dude that was your stereotypical, Korean look. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't like working out or anything like that. He
like an
wasn't
older
chubby.
man.
Yeah,
making
older
music,
guy.
making bop.
Yeah. This is why I gravitated towards Psy, because he wasn't like fit. Like he was like kind of he had a little meat on him. He wasn't really I don't know if there's any K-pop groups that are, I don't like to say this, but a little on the bigger side, Like I don't want to offend anybody, but like
not really.
who are on the big, like can a K-pop group be successful if they're like on the chunkier side or the bigger side? Like would they be successful? Like, or would it be like,
I would say
like, would it be like, okay,
I would say
visuals or everything?
Right. It is, unfortunately, like there's such a total package that presenting to people, right, that they want, and is usually going to be these whitewashed, because again, Koreans do have naturally darker skin, but of course they get whitewashed. So it's a lot of like whitewashing, fit, usually because they're following strict diets and also really under eating, right? Compared to like a normal human being, they're under eating to maintain like this visual aspect to their presentation for fans. And going back to like my previous discussion point about like basically groups back then were like unique, right? And we're missing that unique factor.
Yeah.
There was specifically second gen, so right, think like more like late 2000 or early 2010s. I'm forgetting when they exactly debuted, but they were a trio of girl group trio, so 3 members, and they were concept wise, it's terrible, but their debut name was like the Piggy Girls, because they were more plus size.
Really?
They were more plus size, and they were incredibly like talented vocalists. Like they can sing down, but I think like with them leaning into that specific concept for a debut was also just so niche, right? It is of course very, very niche, but also like so opposite of what people like K-pop fans were used to, and they weren't receptive to them, unfortunately. right?
Yeah.
So they didn't go far at all. They maybe had like one comeback after their initial debut, and that was it. That was
Wow.
it. You know,
Wow.
and now they're like grown and they're still amazing singers and they, perform on shows and stuff, but they're not gonna get recognized because they, unfortunately, like the idol concept, like the visualization of what an idol is in K-pop is like, someone thin,
Mm.
incredibly whitewashed,
Mm.
beautiful, maybe fit, but again, it's kind of like those critiques of like, are they truly healthy, right? Healthy physically and also mentally. It's gonna be like very, very iffy on that end.
Why do you think like lighter skin is accepted, like in general, than darker skin? Like where did this
Girl,
come? Where did this come from, Sass? It happens in the Philippines too.
it's
Like a
all
lot of people.
anti-blackness, girl. It's just
Is
all
it?
anti-blackness. Can I
Is
tell
it?
you, 2018,
Okay.
when I went back for my cousin's wedding,
Um.
I was again a kind of like a big culture shock when I was like a kid visiting Vietnam till like
Mm,
2018.
mm-hmm.
My cousin, who was literally the bride, right, of her multiple wedding stuff that she was having going on, I remember distinctly where it's Vietnam, literally in the summer, just like as it's here in the West, it's like incredibly hot. It can get
Yeah.
incredibly hot over there as
Yeah.
well. And she's packing an umbrella for normal sunlight walking day. You know what I mean? Like we're like
Okay.
going out into town and she is using an umbrella.
Okay. Okay.
And I also distinctly remember I was like basically like forced because there was no other option for me. I was showering and I didn't like check in advance. Not that I think I needed to check, but there was a body wash and it's like a lightning body wash. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like with skin bleaching components into it. Like they advertise it as like you're lightening your skin.
Really?
So it has permeated into so many different aspects of I would say Asia in general to not have dark skin or darker
Uh-huh.
skin.
Uh-huh.
And it
Uh-huh.
all comes down one to anti-blackness, whether or not it's like conscious or subconscious, right? It
Right.
is anti-black because they
Right.
they pin it to like, probably quote unquote giving dirty, giving poor, That's what it comes
Okay.
down to.
Okay.
And they're
Okay.
following
Yeah.
like the culture is saying like again, K-pop idols and whatnot, for example, or big Asian artists and whatnot,
Yeah.
they're lighter skin, they're popular, they're successful, So that ultimately like people are socialized to think that way, unfortunately.
Oh, man, it's like I'm looking at a. Sometimes when I'm looking at these K-pop artists, like especially the advertisements in Toronto, I'm like, bro, they look like ghosts. Like all I see.
And the tea is,
yeah,
they put on like to further like perpetuate it even more. They put on like this masking powder on them to even become even more white. Before photo shoots, before like
I don't get it.
album conceptualization, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
didn't used to be
listen.
like that. K-pop back then, they had like wonderful like darker skin, normally melanated South Korean people.
Mm-mm.
Or there was like a first gen Lee Hyori, who's like also a trailblazer. She was in like a first gen group, who was like tan down, and she was widely popular. And then there's such a big shift to now where everyone's like whitewashed.
Wow. Oh yeah, me personally, I just want to see like a little bit of a diverse, when it comes to skin. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Little-
Which is
little-
why,
just a little bit,
just
a
bringing
little
it back,
bit.
that's why Cat's Eye is getting so popular.
Yeah.
It's getting so popular because they're truly like a real presentation wise and also talent wise. They're an international girl group, global girl group. That's kind of like their concept with like the show and everything
Mhm.
on Netflix.
Mm.
That's why they're so widely popular.
Mm.
And also kind of like less popular in actual South Korea. But the bigger appeal, right, is worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the rest of the world to get into. And that's why they've been really gaining a lot of traction lately.
Mm. Speaking of Netflix, did you watch that show, that K-pop, what do you call it? That K-pop
Demon Hunters?
Demon Hunters?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did a watch party with my community Discord in the OKU.
Oh, nice. And,
Yeah.
and what do you think?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Loved it down. The soundtrack
Okay.
is amazing.
Okay.
You may have heard Golden reached like number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100
Yeah,
here in the United States,
I heard it's
which
like,
is wild.
yeah.
The first, even though it's a fictional, it's the first girl group number 1 since Destiny's Child, Bootylicious. Like, that is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like it's become, of course, such like a big cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I love that. I appreciate it as just a normal K-pop fan because they do reference kind of like the music behaviors, the industry behaviors, and the fan behaviors a lot, while also maintaining kind of like, that animated cartoon camp enjoyment factor for anyone to enjoy. I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. I still have to watch it. And I heard it's like a...
You have to watch it.
Yeah. I heard it's like a very kiddish... Is it for kids?
It's for kids. No, legit is like a normal animated movie, but it follows like, this girl group who they have the responsibility, because it's like centuries worth of tradition of them, a trio of girls who always defeat like this evil, right? And so their strategy is to become a girl group, become massively widely popular because they're using the energy of like the people and the consciousness of the people, maintaining them popularity in order to use that energy against the evil that they fight in the movie.
Wow.
So no spoilers, but you should absolutely watch it.
Okay. Gaining the energy from the audience to defeat evil.
Yes, you as an adult, for sure, you can still enjoy the movie. It's literally for everybody, but of course, right? It's like geared towards kids, but it's I think specifically as Asians specifically, what it really touches on is kind of like, not that it may like be relevant to you specifically, but like I think in general a lot of people can say like, oh, there's a lot of things growing up Asian that you can't really bring up to like your parents, for example, right? There's kind of like that wall where you're not fully, right, you're not fully comfortable to like be vulnerable and whatnot. And so there's a lot of that sentiment with how they took a very specific plot point in the story to really like elevate. It's really a critique on that, I would say. It's kind of like, why is there such a wall when if you were to be vulnerable and show yourself authentically, you can then succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta get on that. I
You
gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
I really want to know your thoughts.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. So I like to move on, and I like you to answer some would you rather questions. This is
Let's do it.
Yeah, this is pertaining to streaming, and then we'll dabble into like a little bit. We'll start from streaming, and then we'll go into like, romance, relationships, all that. Okay, so
yeah, let's do it.
When it comes to streaming, we'll start off. Would you rather have an amazing setup with terrible internet, or a basic setup with flawless internet?
Basic with flawless internet.
Basic with flawless internet? That's the way to go.
It's like it's the worst. I had it happen my last stream, I think, or the stream before, where I finished like a good like first hour of stream where we were doing K-pop reactions and whatnot, and we had a really good conversation going. And then literally, although it's not the internet's fault, it was actually specifically there was an electrician outside doing work, and I heard them. Literally, they arrived, they started working on it, completely blipped my power for like literally only like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stream was going so well, and now I had to like restart and then start live again. So it's like I'd rather have a basic setup, and I still think I have like a basic setup.
I like your setup. Your setup is cool. I like the whole like it's very bright, very very
Well,
like,
just
I like the colors
of those lights. That's it.
Yeah. I like the setup. Okay. Would you rather use a webcam with a blurry background or no webcam at all?
Oh, I prefer to show myself. So I will say blurry background. I think like for me, and I think, there's such an argument of like why people choose to dive into VTubers instead, right? Instead of showing like their real human bodies on stream. But for me, I find it's easier to connect with people if they see me and see me talking to them.
100%.
Not to shade like actual VTubers, but like, whatever's comfortable for you. I find that for me to build my community, showing myself and like engaging and people seeing how I react to stuff, like actually is like the way to go for myself.
Do you watch a lot of VTubers?
I have a few. I definitely have a few friends who also are VTubers on stream, and it is what it is, right? I already know them. I know the personalities. And I know specifically one VTuber who I still don't know what they actually look like, but we literally have been friends for years. And I enjoy their content, right? They also do JRPGs and whatnot, and it is what it is. It's just like people's preferences in the end,
right? Exactly.
In terms of like how that they like to portray themselves or protect themselves too.
What if you met this person and they were like completely opposite of what you thought they would look like? You know, like if you like, for example, you know, like some of the VTubers, they have like, you know, maybe like they're very muscular, or like they have like this, you know, like, or maybe like, sexualized. They have like the big titties, like, you know, flapping around, you know, the sultry voice, and then suddenly you go out to meet them, and it's like this, you know, this big chunky guy with the hair and whatnot, and like a very deep voice, like with AI nowadays and voice changers. Like, how do you know the person that you've been watching is the actual person? You know,
I would say personally, I haven't had to deal with that myself, but if I were to have that happen, it will be very jarring, right? It's blurring the lines of authenticity in that case. Whereas like, I guess I can see why they took this approach in terms of VTuber, or like their model for VTubing, right? Their PNG or whatnot. Instead, in order to like build their audience, because they may feel like insecure about like, you know, how they feel and whatnot. And you know, that's just a matter of like probably them. Because I've heard this critique like online a lot about VTubers, like VTubers themselves saying like, oh, it's because, you know, I've been judged or I've been critiqued on my look, so I'd rather just like axe that out of the way and just present as a VTuber, and then be more 100% comfortable in that way, right? And you can't blame people for engaging in that approach.
Yeah, you know, people will do it. It's a preference, right? If you prefer to do this and you prefer to watch this, and of course, you know, there's other people out there who are insecure, or they don't want to show their face, or maybe they have like a history of like being stalked, you know, a history of like people online, like just, you know, I don't know, like I don't know if you had this happen to you, but like, you know, parasocial people were just like very obsessed with you, like, very obsessed, and like,
well, can I tell you? Yeah, exactly, right? And I would say not in terms of obsession, but what was one scary thing that happened is that G Silver got doxxed.
Oh wow.
Like literally got doxxed. i.e. a troll who came into chat, I think they immediately got banned or something from one of our friends, our mods, right? And he was still live, and unfortunately they were doing like weird phone calls to him, right? Because they were able to somehow like got to his like contact information.
Really?
And unfortunately led to a true swatting incident on G Silver in our household. For me, I was at work at the time.
Yeah.
And luckily, right, nothing happened. Like no one got harmed or not, besides like some kind of trauma as of that response for all those unfortunately involved. And it sucks. And it sucks that there's people with like bad intentions, right? So in the end, that's another avenue of like more layered protection for the actual streamer who may want to fully engage with like VTubing for their content instead. So just in case, you too, make sure there's no direct personal information that they can immediately find. And unfortunately, I think G Silver, who is also a real estate agent, he had his direct like website on his like linked details in his Twitch channel page. So technically anyone could have like gone there, can go back to like, oh, this is the exact city that he primarily like serves, you know, and go from there if they're really about to really intend to do harm in that kind of way. So since then, it was a lot of lessons learned from that experience.
Yeah, no, swatting is man. Thank goodness, like it hasn't happened to me yet. Knock on wood, but you know, swat. I would never want to be swatted. So hopefully,
it's scary.
Like, yeah, it is scary. Like, I don't know what the reason is to swat someone. Like your husband obviously didn't do anything wrong. You know, didn't do anything to anybody. You know, to
can I tell you? Funny thing is, the person who was making the calls and whatnot, they were faking like a hysterical call that G Silver was harming his girlfriend. for keeping her trapped in a house. And when I tell you, when these officers came to the house, and both our friend and roommate, who was also still living with us, I'm trying to like be weary of like TOS, but the way our roommate had said, it was like, officer, we're a bunch of like F slurs. You know what I mean? Like legit. And then they had a big laugh. But before they could have that big laugh, you know, each one of them, it was like my younger brother, who used to also live with us at that time when it was happening, G Silver and our other friend, they had to one by one like follow the orders of the officers, because again they were all in a line with their weapons out, and one by one each of the person in the house had to like do this and walk backwards to the officers.
Oh, shit.
Like in that regard, it was super scary and potentially traumatic, right? Even though it was completely like a fake call. But, you know, at that point, they're trying to find the humor in it, you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't see the humor in swatting. Like, I don't see it. I don't see, like, I don't see what the point is. Like, I assume, like, when they're being swatted, did they end live? Did G Silver end live, or it just kept going?
It was actually still on. Yeah, he went on a break. Yeah, it was a BRB. And, of course, like, friends in chat and our mods and whatnot, they reasonably were like, oh, G Silver's, you know, away from the stream for such a long time. Did something happen? And in the middle of all that, the officers and whatnot come to the house and trying to get everyone out, you know, and they're navigating, trying to do it as calmly as possible so nothing happens, right? That was wild. Yeah, that was wild.
Wild, man. Wild. But hopefully that's it. Hopefully you won't experience anything like that, Sass. So, yeah. Hopefully all is good. Okay. Would you rather stream in 4K with 30 frames per second or 1080p with 60 frames per second?
I would say 1080p. 4K requires like a really, really good camera, which I definitely don't have the means to like actually buy one at this moment. Although that would be, of course, like a goal down the line just to have it be higher quality. But even right now on my streams, it's 720 because I don't think I have the means still to do like 1080p. You know what I mean? But I'd rather do like 60 frames per second rather than 30.
That's the way. Me too. Yeah. Me too. Even 720. I love the frame rate over the visuals, because the frame rate, you want to have a smooth, stream, no jarring lagginess, you just want people to enjoy the smoothness of it. Yeah. Would you rather have 10 loyal viewers who chat consistently or 100 viewers who never interact?
No, I'd rather have actual interactors, right? And I think like there's a big conversation amongst like my Twitch friends group very, very recently where, no one is owed like your OU interactions, right? That's why we love our lurkers, right? They continue to be the backbone of the community and of the streams. But specifically, I also equally appreciate the people who do take that step to like be in chat or at least say hi and have like even a minor conversation, just to help me as a streamer maintain the energy and the flow of like being able to chat, like literally chat to stream. And again, doesn't have to be like a long conversation. I think people who want to choose like the 100 without like the talking, just they're worried about numbers, they're worried about trying to get to like partner stats and whatnot. Me, I'd rather have my content be where it's literally me and friends and we're hanging out, even if you're just lurking, right? To just hang out. But I would still like some chatters. Which is why we have like our mods and we have like our go-to friends that comes back
that come in. You always have like those people that come in like chat and like make the chat come alive. On a side note, Sass, I'm wondering, what are your like biggest pet peeves when it comes to like streaming or, like, streams in general? Like what are some like your there's probably a lot. I got a lot too. So while we're on the subject, before we move on, like I want to know what are your pet peeves like when you go into like a chat? Let's say you're going to like a chat room. I don't know if you go into a chat that's like has a lot of viewers or low viewers, but like what are some of your pet peeves like when you go in there? Like what are some of the things that like literally turn you off? Like they're like, oh man, I'm clicking off this shit. Like this is no.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I would say, when I'm in someone's streams, even if they're a friend, I still kind of side-eye at them, is that they have some kind of component, either they themselves, if they're trying to like basically take people out of lurk. I find that to be like one of the most disrespectful things ever.
Yeah. Right?
Right?
Where they have like the list, like you can see who's lurking, and like they look at the list, they're like, welcome in, Sass. Oh, Sass, welcome in. I see you in there. Let me shout you. I'm like, yo, bro, just let people lurk.
I think those people
lurk. Yeah. There's like,
are wild.
Man, there's
It's
like
iconic.
20 people here right now. There's 20 people watching me. Why is no one in the chat? Like, dude, there's 20 people lurking and listening to you. Just take the
I don't care
W.
about numbers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
what I
just take the
also
W.
find really
Like,
what I find really annoying is that sometimes streamers they have overlays, they have like stream stuff that basically essentially still like tell exactly who is available in chat, like those Pokemon thingies.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand them. Can't stand
Oh
those
my
two.
god, yes.
I will
Like,
still leave a lurk.
I lurk, and then like the next time I go to their chat or like say something in chat, and like, yeah, I was I there for that? Like, yeah, you were there for that. I saw you in chat. Or I wasn't. I was like there, but I wasn't there. You know,
like just
I was
tab
there.
you up.
Yeah.
And leave your tab because I'm currently working or doing other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I just think it's on the streamer to like be respectful that you should have it be like a lurker friendly space.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. Never call out lurkers. Never have anything in your OBS or anything that extension that will like update the chat to like see who's in your who is lurking. Like that to me bothers me when I see my name and I haven't like said anything in the chat yet, and I'm going, oh,
like
fuck.
why am I getting a shout out when I'm
why am I
haven't
getting a
even
shout
said
out?
hi?
Yeah,
I have not even said hi.
I have not said anything in your chat. Just let me lurk, okay? Let me lurk. Let me do my thing.
Exactly.
You know, like or when I'm lurking and like I'm just like either doing some other thing, maybe I'm writing or doing something like I'm having like my stream full volume, and I hear like Blasian Titan Nation. I see you in the chat, man. Like yo, thank you very much for watching. I'm like, what? Like
that's
I don't
weird.
Know. I don't know.
Weird.
It's just
so there's that. Okay, so there's that.
Yeah.
Don't take lurkers out.
Yeah.
And then I think the biggest thing is it comes to like I think in the end personalities or like people not respecting boundaries. Specifically, you got to like read the room. If I'm actually talking about some kind of like semi-serious stuff, right? Yep. Like don't use one of my like sound alerts or video alerts.
Oh yeah,
meant to be like entertaining and funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there's like things like that. Whereas like some people maybe they're just hopping into stream. Like the first thing they do is like an alert. When I feel like some people should have like some wherewithal to like see if like the vibes are fitting before you're using an alert that the streamer set up for you to use. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why it's like I had that happen before where. Unfortunately, there's like a repeat offender in multiple of our streams within the community that we just had to like, ban them. They also got like more messy on the side about some other stuff, but I think in terms of like annoyances, like that comes up as like something that we remember as well. So it's things like that. Yeah.
It's like when you're watching like a death scene or like a sad scene in a video game. And then suddenly all you hear is never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around, like all that like fart noises and like alarms going off or like like it's okay if it's like a scary game and you're walking down the hallway or some shit like that, but if you're watching
but it's
someone dying,
it's different.
If you're watching someone
I think it's
dying,
mostly with like discussion, right? Based on the content that you're seeing right now, but also like sometimes I talk about real life stuff. Like this is what's been going on. I'm just trying to engage with chat about it, and then you hear like from my chat, no bottom shaming,
or like alerts just pop up and like I know
exactly.
that's the thing like I got so many sass. I got like so many like self promo is another one for me. Like I hate it when people go into your chat and just say like, I'm streaming right now, I'm a streamer, I stream this and I stream that. This is a first time chatter. And I'm going, what the
Oh, that's
fuck?
an immediate ban.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
My mods
like,
know they can immediately ban them. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just
So things like that is
disrespectful.
it's like it's icky. That's what it is.
Yeah, like get to know, like get to know the streamer first before you say like I'm a streamer. Like I never would go into someone else's chat and do that. But again, like there's a whole bunch, and yeah, I can go all day, every day with it.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so next question is, would you rather get raided by a huge streamer with toxic viewers, or by a small streamer with supportive fans?
Oh, easily small.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, even I have to remind myself, right, to not say it's like a raid with like a noticeably like huge number. I try to like just be the same with every raid, be welcoming. Don't even mention any aspect about the size of the raid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which that initially had to like, of course, like for me, had to like start some practice with in my like first few months of streaming, for example. But otherwise, yeah, I just rather have like supportive people in general, like the cool people of like a streamer's community. Those are the ones that are probably in the know about like, okay, how to like be present in another person's chat, especially if you're new to that, the chat and the community, right? To the streamer.
Right.
Like know how to behave instead of like the toxic ones. Potentially it's gonna give like almost like hate raid if it was like toxic people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I never had to deal with a hate raid, but I had seen like actual friends needing to deal with them in real time, and I never want to do that.
Yeah,
or be able to experience that.
It's so awkward. It's very awkward. Like I never had to experience that too, but I've seen it happen, and I'm going, God damn, man! Like the person's like happy that there's so many people watching. They like turned it into like content at the end of the day. Like, yeah, thank you for giving me all these viewers and pushing me up in the category. That type of stuff. But I'm always appreciative. Like, always be appreciative. Like, no matter how big the raid is, like, always appreciative of whoever raids you and whoever takes the time to like go into your stream.
Exactly. Yeah.
Would you rather have a viewer who never misses your stream, but always asks repetitive questions, or a viewer who only comes in once a month, but gives you great feedback?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I feel like I would definitely be annoyed by the repetition from the former in general. It's like, why are you constantly saying the same thing? And especially if it's all about, again, reading the room. Like, if you happen to like keep saying the same thing over and over in chat, and I'm not responding to it, that should be your hint to like stop saying that topic. Stop writing whatever that same chat is over and over, right? Because I'm moving on. Because in the end, I do my best to, of course, read everything, and most of the time I do get to like everything, right? And that should be like your cue to whoever the friend, the viewer is, to like, move on.
Just like that. Stop talking about it. It's past. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah. And it brings me a lot of joy when I see like people who haven't been in chat in forever, like officially been in chat, and like, noticeably even like months plus time, and it's like, oh my gosh, I like recognize you, how you been, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think I like the same, once a month, but gives you free feedback. Like, I'd probably be annoyed by it depends on the question too. If it's like, it's like, did you
it's actually serious?
Today? Like,
or like I'm genuinely asking for feedback or not.
Yeah. Like, honestly. Would you rather stream a game you absolutely love but nobody watches, or stream a game you don't like but it draws a huge audience?
Oh, definitely the first one.
Yeah?
For me, like, I know that I would play a lot of, I guess, what would be considered more like, older, retro, maybe at this point, vintage JRPGs before on streams, and it's like,
yes.
My biggest thing for anyone is to like always, if you're a streamer, just do what you want.
Yeah.
Don't care about like what's going to, elevate views and whatnot. Because in the end, one is meant for people that actually like vibe with your content in general, rather than like these instances of like, oh, a new game and stuff like that. And it doesn't always translate as well, like at all, in my opinion. It's unrealistic to think that it will bring you viewers. If anything, I feel like I got more viewers from playing these older games, these classic games that maybe most people don't know, but I'm finding people who love this game and they're very surprised that someone's streaming it, for example, right? So I
Right.
think it's the opposite experience.
And you're having fun. That's all. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um. Would you rather play a game that's easy to get viewers for, but you're not good at it, or a game that's hard to grow an audience for, but you're amazing at it? Kind of like going back to the first question.
Yeah,
right? Of
I like the amazing
yeah,
game.
yeah.
I like me, Shady Shy, and other friends. Like I feel like we play like Final Fantasy X
Mm-hmm.
pretty often on stream, maybe at least every other year at this point, because that's one of our all-time favorite games ever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And of course, it's like I think it's popular enough where it always will have its own niche, ongoing viewership because people will always like love games like that. But I prefer that over a game that maybe I'm trying for the first time and I'm clearly not vibing with it at all on my face. In the hopes of gaining viewers, I don't think it'll work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a lot of subs but no donations, or a lot of donations but no subs?
That's a good question. I think I'd rather just like subs, you know?
Okay.
Like people are like fully in tune with like supporting you. And I feel like that's one way of like indicating that you are actually truly in the community if you're willing to go that far to like sub and use the emotes, you know what I mean? Rather than donations. Because donations is like mainly I prefer to just get them through like charity streams, you know what I mean? For those aspects. Yeah, I'd rather see like people like if I see you using emotes of mine in other streams, like other friends' streams, that brings me a lot of joy that people are like choosing to use that in other people's streams. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's like very honored. Like I was lurking some streams and someone posted these emotes of mine. And I was going, what the, like damn, like I couldn't.
Like why am I seeing myself?
Why am I seeing myself? Like does this person know me? Like I don't know how he got my emotes, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, no, that's good. On another note, Sass, when do you plan on making like Twitch in general like as a source of income for you? Like do you want to go full time, or are you going full time, or you want to like what's your future plans for Twitch? It's like an offshoot question.
Yeah, I would say the ultimate goal is always like building a community and not necessarily worrying about the accolades of like, oh, potentially becoming full-time or becoming partner and things like that, right? You know, whatever happens. I'll of course invite whatever energy comes my way. But my main goal always is just like hang out with friends on stream, you know? People want to come back and people want to like engage in conversation of like our mutual interests. So I personally right now don't have like aspirations to become like a full-time content creator. Cause I'm also like, I also would categorize myself as like not creative in that way or have like the energy towards content creation constantly because I feel like it's tiring. It's very tiring. I imagine for people to maintain that ability to be on streams for like hours and hours long every single day, for example, or most days of the week, I feel like I cannot do that. I cannot do that. As much as I would love to, you know what I mean? I don't think I have like the ability or like the aspiration to do that.
I notice sometimes that you go live with like reaction, like, you know, reacting to like K-pop and, you know, like music videos and stuff like that. Have you ever considered that as a way, like on YouTube or something like that? Do you ever think about doing that? Like just reactions to K-pop?
I think like back then, because kind of like going back as like an old school, what I consider old school second gen fan of K-pop is that it was so underground, but like you had those specific YouTubers who were doing those reactions to new K-pop releases, new comebacks in K-pop, right? That we love and enjoy, and we have very specific people in mind that we subscribe to that we had loved back in the day. But I feel like making those kind of specific content for like future upload is so hard because it's the editing and it's like things like that takes so much more time after doing like the in real time reaction and engaging with like a live chat and community via stream. And I think streaming is then for me, kind of like the middle of, yes, it's content creation, but it's like an easier avenue of content creation because it's like one and done. You're doing it in the moment. You don't have to do like the after the editing or the VOD upload stuff like
Exactly.
that, unless you want to, right? A lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of
But
people like
I don't want to edit. I don't want to like do
Yeah.
the editing because I've done that enough as a
Yeah.
YouTube AMV maker back in the day.
Editing does take a while, you know.
Yeah.
But you're seeing like there's some benefit to it because on YouTube it's like that video is like being played over and over and over again, and just it's there for now and forever. But on streaming, it's like you're just doing it, and it's like whatever happens in the moment happens, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Meowsith asks, is reaction to K-pop does not trigger copyright?
Oh, that's a good question, Meow. So specifically, it's based on whether or not you keep the audio. For me, right, from the browser,
Yeah.
do you keep the audio in sync with the recording for the VOD output? And for me, right, in OBS, it's easy to both turn off the VOD track for both my iTunes playlist I'm usually playing, my actual music that I'm playing for stream, turn that off, as well as turning off the audio for my browser where I'm viewing, right, the YouTube video. So it's actually very, very easy. And due to those two ways, as long as the actual audio is not in the VOD, you're good to go. No real worry about copyright strikes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you, would you rather stream a game you're bad at but super fun to play, or stream a game that you're great at but it's really repetitive?
Oh, again, it's the repetitive nature
repetitive?
that I feel like it's such a turn off. It's such a turn off. So I'm gonna do the bad at, but it's actually fun.
Okay.
Because I feel like at that point, as long as it's fun and you play it enough times, right? Or you play with the community members, it was like a multiplayer game, then that makes it even more fun. Like for me, like for a game like that would be like Lethal Company. I feel like I'm so bad at Lethal Company, but it's so funny to play with my friends on stream or be in their streams when they're playing it, because it's the interactions that makes it really, really funny. Even though I'm like terrible at like finding and picking stuff up that's supposed to cost money that you are trying to trade in for the currency in the game to survive in a game like Lethal Company. So yeah.
So in general, would you rather play with people or would you rather play by yourself?
In general, by myself.
And
I think it's because of like the nature of what the true games I enjoy the most is like the single player story driven games, which of course is a lot of JRPGs. That's my bread and butter. So it's very specific to like when I'm in the mood to play multiplayer games, which I do sometimes on stream. I play Fortnite, I play Marvel Rivals. I feel like we have played together as well. I added you at least. So
yeah.
So it's like things like that, right? Where it's still it's a game that I love to play. And it just happens to be playing with friends if they happen to be on and available, right, in the moment. But otherwise, it's very specific, like moments of like planning where I'm like joining those like discourse games where it does require more like talking, in real time.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Last two questions pertaining to streaming. Okay. Would you rather host a charity stream and raise a ton of money, but have a technical meltdown, or have a flawless stream but raise very little money?
In that case, the former, because in the end, it's a charity stream. You wanna like raise the most, I think. And I feel like I've had streams where, definitely with my old setup back in the day, where I was just streaming straight from my like normal personal laptop I would use for school and stuff. Things would happen all the time where if someone opens the back door, somehow going in between that back door in my kitchen, it automatically shuts off the internet and then it had to reconnect. Like that always happened back in the day. But in the end, it can still be a very successful stream.
Right. Because you raised money.
I'm still having fun. I'm raising money.
Yeah.
I think that in that case, it's very specific because it's a charity stream. You do want to like raise the most as much as you can.
Would you rather do a 24-hour stream that's full of energy but ends with a total burnout, or a 12-hour stream that's chill and steady but lacks hype?
That's so hard because I feel like the most I've done is maybe 12 hours. I may have done that once. I'm forgetting for what reason. Maybe it could have been like a celebration stream, but 24 hours is crazy.
I know. Have you ever done it? Have you ever like considered it?
Unless a third of that is I'm only sleeping category. I don't think I can do a 24-hour stream.
Well, I mean, like, some people can do full 24 hours, but just like take a break in between. Like, you know, I plan on doing a full 24 hours, but like not till later.
Okay.
Later. But
what's the occasion?
Well, like 24 hours, 2400. That's what my thing. If I ever reach 2400, 2400 followers, then I'll do a 24 hour. 100%.
Okay. I like that idea.
All right. So I want to move on. Like, this is going to be like the last kind of thing that we will talk about, but I want to move on. Like, I don't know, like, and let me know if you don't want to talk about this. We're going to be talking about like sex, relationships, and romance here. Okay. So there's a bunch of would you rather questions.
You should probably know I'm very sex positive on my streams.
You're very sex positive. I know you are, but like, again, like I like to just ask people beforehand because I don't want to make them feel like, oh, they got to answer this question. You know, like they have to. No. If you feel uncomfortable answering any of these, let me know. They're also would you rather questions. So, let me know. We'll start off. We'll start off with like, you know, low, and then we'll move up. Okay. So would you rather be trapped in an elevator with your ex or your partner's ex?
That's a good question. I personally like truly like I'm not kidding. G Silver is my first true relationship ever. I never really had exes. Yeah.
Oh
so
shit!
I feel like I'm lucky in that way. But specifically,
that's a W right there.
I definitely had people in the past that I guess quote unquote had like a really really strong like infatuation for, like a huge crush before that. You know, if it wasn't reciprocated, I was like really really heartbroken. You know, very like teenage stuff. But I'd rather with my own ex.
Okay.
Because at least I know them more directly. And unless it's like a terrible situation in the past, you know, God forbid, it'll be okay. Because at least we can like at least catch up and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on like how you ended it, right?
Yeah.
If it ended it in like abuse or like some sort of like heart. It would be kind of awkward.
I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of awkward. You just staying in there and be like, there'd be like no talking. It'd be all silence. You'd probably be on your phone, just like look somewhere else. And it's like, you don't want to be touched or like be like anywhere in the vicinity anymore. You want to get off that elevator right away.
Yeah, and I'd be okay with like technically say if you know any of G Silver's exes also come in the elevator as well because I've also met some of them and it's like no big deal. They were like all cool people, you know, they were all grown up about it when it comes to like their breakups. So that's probably more of like the easiest avenue, maybe in like a circumstance like that.
Okay. Would you rather cuddle on the couch all weekend or go on a spontaneous road trip together with G Silver?
Oh, I'd rather cuddle.
Cuddle? Are you what? What's wrong with
we're homebodies? We're legitimately homebodies.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think
yeah.
I think both of us, like energy wise, we feel our most comfortable like just being by ourselves, like at home, or even say like I'm in my own like this is technically our bedroom, but I have my space, my computer desk, and you know game stuff here. Right across the hall is like his space with like his game setup and his stream setup, and we're very much like that, you know. And I think it's just a matter because like we're both like gamers, and we understand like you know what Twitch provides us, and we're hanging out with other people in like their chats, for example.
Right.
While road trips, unless it's like a specific say meet up with like other people, like me and G Silver would never like plan spontaneous like let's go up to Maine, let's do a 5-6 hour trip to Maine, you know, be by ourselves. When we're thinking like, girl, we could have saved up all this money and just go out for a nice dinner or something, you know. Like legit.
So are you like more introverted than extroverted, or are you like kind of like depending?
Definitely depending. I would say growing up, I always claim more extroverted energy. But I think more through, especially in my like late 20s and now early 30s, I'm more like an ambivert. It has to
Okay.
be like I'm planning my energy in advance for like
Mm,
meet up with friends or going
right.
to see people or
Mm,
big trips. Like I always like I'm mentally saving energy for that, and I don't want to
mm.
do too much leading up to that event or that big event.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
All
I'm like
right.
in the middle. I'm definitely in the
Like
middle.
in the middle. In the middle. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, would you rather relive your first date or skip ahead to your wedding day?
Wedding day.
Wedding day.
Yeah, because I know we just had it. We just had it in November, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
honestly like perfection. It was honestly
Really?
perfection.
You get
And I think
married in.
like,
Yeah.
sorry, what was your question?
I so you
Yes,
get
ma'am.
married like in the States, like you got married.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
just this past November. So, um, I think because it's like so, it was such a, like a between day and also like after wedding festivities. Like it was such a fun day, and also like
Mm,
very emotionally draining because both me and him we were crying all day. But
mm,
I think once we were like finished the actual true wedding, or like the fun started happening towards like the end of the night, and then we did like the after wedding meetup. It was very memorable and a blast, and I was surrounded by like all my family, chosen family, friends. Um,
aw,
and it's much more meaningful, even more meaningful than the first date. Because you know why? Because
yeah. Yeah.
ironically, our first date, it was really, really nice. We went out for a nice restaurant. G Silver paid for the whole thing. And we were both kind of like, I would say on my part, like I thoroughly enjoy the date specifically. And I think he did too, because we were just vibing so well. We even went to
Yeah.
like an anime Zappa shop, like those gift stores after the dinner. But I think it was both in terms of both of our like for me again he was my first true like dating real relationship experience.
Right.
So in that first date I was also not like so open to the point where I'm comfortable with being the first one to say like, hey, you want to plan for the next date, you know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm,
And
mm.
him, he had to deal with like a very bad relationship before, and I think like that was like his first
Mm.
like kind of like first date coming in to the scene again with dating, and he basically had like an insecurity about whether or not me and him had a good time or not. So basically, right after the first date, when we finally said bye, and we did text each other saying like, "Hey, I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. Hopefully, we can meet up." But then it became 4 months of no talking. 4 months of no talking.
What?
Yeah.
So
Because
like
again, right? Because I wasn't gonna be the first one to like try to like
trying to
plan the
like make a
next
move like
date.
crazy. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
him dealing with his
What?
like I guess insecurity at the time with like his past
Okay.
relationship and whatnot. It just led to like a stagnant waiting period. So what finally connected us again is like me and him. We actually became already like Facebook friends by that point.
Okay.
So when he had some kind of Facebook status 4 months later. I basically essentially it broke it down to like, oh, I think you'll find this cute. He was basically saying like, oh, the status was, I wish I could just like cut up with somebody and watch anime all day. And so for
Yeah.
me, I swooped in and I
Mm.
said I could be that person as a comment.
Aw.
So basically flirting back, right? And then
Aw.
that was when we finally reconnected. He finally messaged me right after, and then we went on the second date, and the rest is history. So
So you had to like push a little bit, like
basically,
you
yeah.
had
After
to
I
like
saw
you had to
that, because
yeah
if
yeah
I
you had
had
to
done that.
really
If I hadn't
yeah.
done that, who would have known if we would ever be together?
I see. I
Yeah.
see. It was like yeah, it was kind of I get it. But like before G Silver, you never went on like any other dates. Like you never really like you never like had like a
Yeah,
date that was
no.
like oh no, this is not gonna work out. Like
Yeah, no true date.
yeah.
I definitely had like hookups with people, but that
Mm.
was it. And not even with a lot of people. I had like one other friend. He then got with like a boyfriend technically, and then a hookup with them both. But that was it. That was legit it. I don't think we had like a
Yeah.
true date. And I never was really active on the apps, and I was also very, very like keen on kind of like protecting myself as well,
Mm.
being like, really young and trying to like see what's
Mm.
out there.
Mm.
And At least in like the Massachusetts area. One thing for sure that you really have to worry about that I definitely got a sense of this as well is there's a lot of like this is gonna be funny, quote unquote rice queens out there who are like fetishizing like Asian people.
Yeah.
And that's like their only type or like that's their only dating experience. And it's gonna be like a white guy who like really, really is into Asians. And I almost got into date with him and thank God I didn't. You know. So it's like things like that. That was like, maybe this is why it's not gonna work, and I avoided it.
Yeah, like when you're looking at that, do you look at like his sexual preferences as well? Like, do you prefer him to be fully gay, or do you have your dated men who are like bisexual? Like, do you prefer a fully gay man, or like do you not care about?
I would say. I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to put myself back in like my younger mentality at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have went majority for just like those who said they were like marked gay as like on the dating apps, for example. You know what I mean? Right. But me now, I think like a greater discussion of that is like there's like biphobia. Like people are worried that like, oh, you know, they could go for like the other gender in the middle of your relationship because that's what maybe they crave or that's maybe they want, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure maybe some aspect of that I may have had back in the day where I'm only marking like just like gay guys back then. But right now, like I could care less because, you know, trying to unlearn that biphobia basically.
Right. Okay, so would you rather have your partner's face as your iPhone wallpaper or a shirtless pic of them?
Oh, my iPhone wallpaper. I already have him as my background, basically.
Yeah.
It's more like a full body picture and not just his face. So maybe that could be like different.
Okay.
But way more than the second choice, I would say.
Would you rather switch wardrobes for a week or phones for a day with your partner?
Oh God. One thing about G Silver is that his phone, he has a terrible habit of like getting rid of all of his notifications.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just stacks for a long time. And it's like, I can't do that. I immediately get rid of them. So it's like a clean slate as often as can be. And I feel like I'll be too annoyed with that. His wardrobe's like a little too big for me, but I am the one purchasing his clothes for him, but with his credit card because he doesn't like to go shopping. So
you do all the shopping.
I make these online orders for him using his money, right?
Yeah.
Just to get him new clothes because he's also very avoidant of like in-person shopping unless he's like in the mood for it. Yeah.
So when you go out and you're the one, are you the one doing like a lot of the choosing of the clothes and all that?
Well, only if that's like our plans for the day, right? Okay. Like sometimes he has those moves where it's like, I need new stuff. Let's go to like the nearby, you know, outlets for example. Right. Then I would just help him like, you know, choose stuff. Mm-hmm. But he would say himself that he's not really into like fashion or dressing himself up. So
okay,
I have to do it for him most of the time.
All right. I'm gonna ramp up a little bit here. Okay. Would you rather have an intense makeout session in a public place or have a secret rendezvous at a friend's house?
Secret rendezvous.
Yeah?
I personally don't like that heavy display of affection, like public display of affection.
Yeah.
Like the cute stuff, like a cute like peck on the cheek or like holding hands, like I can do, but full on making out, I do not like to do that in public.
Yeah, PDA is like not in the question.
Not that heavy PDA, but I like the cuter stuff, right? Like it's like a light peck on the cheek, or I'm like hugging him, or I'm like holding his hands as we're like walking with friends. Like that's different compared to like just full on
like tonguing each other.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before?
The full on stuff.
Yeah,
in public?
in public.
No.
Like you got drunk with G Silver and we're like, like fuck it. Let's
just go. I've done that.
Oh shit.
On the dance floor with him.
Okay.
But that's different because like the club space, like, you know, it like can help like elevate that kind of energy
Mm-hmm.
in the moment where it still feels like personal, even though you're like fully dancing in the middle of a crowd, you know? Like it still feels like private enough
Mm,
to do that.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. All right. Would you rather send naughty texts to each other during work or have a spontaneous hookup on a lunch break?
Naughty text.
Naughty texts?
Naughty text. Yeah.
No,
For me,
spontaneous hookups?
because the only thing that can really happen, because then, you know, if we're both like two gay men,
Yeah.
I would have to be the one that needs to like prepare in advance, right? So the most I can do in like a spontaneous hookup is like oral stuff,
Ah.
right?
Okay.
Like making out, maybe like oral stuff. But otherwise, I like messaging instead. It's easier.
Oh, okay.
It also feels more like oh, what's the word? It's part of it gives like more foreplay with
More
with
foreplay.
like
Oh, foreplay.
messaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good one. Would you rather have him go down on you or you go down on him? Would you rather be going down on or him or you want someone to go down on you?
That's just like, well, there's a difference, right?
Like,
When it
where
comes to,
would you?
we have two body parts that you can do that on, and I specifically don't do one of them
Oh.
with anybody.
Okay.
I don't enjoy eating the peach. Let's say that.
Okay. You don't enjoy eating
Yeah,
peach.
I tried
Okay.
it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
But the other way
Wait.
around, you can do it. You know?
Oh, really? So like you don't mind?
Yes.
if it's-
Yes.
Okay. Like, but you're, you like to do the other, like not to go down and stuff, but like the penetration.
Oh God, I don't even do that either.
Oh, you don't do that either?
Those are the two things. Yes. When I say I'm the
Oh.
CEO of bottoms, I truly mean I'm the CEO of bottoms. Like I don't. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Ah.
Yeah.
So how does I don't know if you want to say this, but like how does sex work with you and your partner? You know, like is he the more dominant one? Or are you the more dominant one? Like obviously I think you mentioned. It, but,
I would say I like to be more submissive in bed
okay.
because that's the energy I would give. Because I'm already like a bad bitch every single day. I need something different in terms of in the bed. So I think that's my fantasy.
Okay.
That's my fantasy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
my space. And there's G Silva right now in chat. Hi, honey. That's
Yeah.
my space to be like to be taken care of. To be
Yeah.
taken care of. Yeah.
I mean, like if G Silver is the most dominant one and you're the most submissive one, do you feel like
Yeah.
he's like
Which I think
kind of like
stereotypical to like the bottom and top assumptions of what would happen, right? Like technically the
Yeah.
one doing the penetration is like the more dominant one. But it also can
Yeah.
be like vice versa for like other couples. It's just the
Right.
dynamic that people give. Me, I'm sub down in bed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't like take turns.
To provide that energy? No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Also, it's going
Okay.
too far. Like I don't want to like. Then it comes across as like, what's the word? Like role playing kind of in a different way. You know, I just want to be taken care of. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
He says a chat bossy bottom energy. I am not bossy. I am not bossy.
Bottom energy. Okay. So, okay. Would you rather go to a clothing optional beach party together or attend a themed costume party?
Oh. Together?
Yeah, together, like you and G Silver.
I feel like the most fun, especially because we just recently did this for the first time, is because what me and G Silver do, we have our annual. It's essentially what's called Men of Color Weekend in Provincetown, in Massachusetts, every single year. It's just like a big meetup for queer and trans men of color. But this past June was the first time that we've gone to. It's called Boy Beach, which is like that nude beach, basically, in like the local consciousness. That's like a specific space for people if they want to like be naked. They can be naked, they can tan. There's then like these dunes boundary behind us, besides like from the beach, there's the dunes behind us where people, if they want to go hook up with other people and stuff like that, they can do that, right? But that was the first time, and it was like it felt so like underwhelming. Like
Really?
it wasn't fun in that aspect. But I think it's because it wasn't a complete takeover by the men of color organization. Because we went kind of like several days earlier within that long weekend to the boy beach, and it was just us. It was like with friends, you know, we're just like mostly just tanning and, you know, being on the sand. And other people, if they want to, you know, go behind in the dunes to like go seek some fun or watch if you want to watch. And for me, it was just
Wow.
underwhelming. It was very underwhelming. It was like, it's all right.
It was like, yeah, you're not into that. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah.
for the weekend, we also do have themed costume parties throughout the whole weekend, and that's where we are seeing friends. We're seeing what people's looks they're providing for their choice of costume for the theme, and I think that's the most fun. You feel the most free. Like for us, we always go every single year because we just see like unabashed like queer joy without like judgment. Like it's full freedom of like queer people just being queer people.
Right.
And of color, right? Which we don't really have that many spaces. So I think I'm going to choose that instead.
Okay. Do you feel like, you know, when it comes to like just in general, like people of color are represented well in the LGBT community?
No.
Really?
Which I think if, of course, you know, you're asking as like an outside view, like what's it actually giving, right? And I'm being honest, like specifically here in Massachusetts, it's very white dominated space, and that on top of having just like barely even like a handful of like dedicated queer bars or restaurants or club spaces, is really really tough. It's really really tough, and there's been such a growing trend through the years, these past few years, of like a lot of gay bars and lesbian bars closing down, which sucks because there's already so little in the first place. But on top of that, if you're in a white dominant space, you're gonna mostly see just like white people, and very little percentage of like people of color. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to very specific themed parties, which we do have, but it's not like a true dedicated space yet. It's more just like a weekly residency at like a club.
Okay.
You know?
So if you were going to live somewhere in the States that was very LGBT friendly, I assume it's San Francisco? Is that the place? Like, is California
San
the
Francisco? Place? Yeah, I personally haven't. Well, we have. Let me backtrack. It was 2018. We did do a San Fran trip. Very briefly, I'm pretty sure, because it was like kind of close to LA-esque. We were going there for like it was DragCon at the time. In that year. What we find actually from last year's TwitchCon experience, San Diego reminds us heavily of Boston, but we just had such a blast with all like the queer events as part of the TwitchCon weekend.
Yeah.
Where it was like a fully like mesh crowd of different people of all race and ethnicities and whatnot. It was a very beautiful experience. It was so much fun. So San Diego will be nice. I know we also had fun from our few times in Philly before, here in the States as well. Yeah. Otherwise, New York, but New York is also like, you know, that kind of, the New York vibe is like a little oddly. I see you in chat. Oddly can tell you, New York is kind of like, it's supposed to be more like accepting, but I feel like they still have some pockets where it's like standoffish to maybe like POC, you know?
What about Atlanta? I heard Atlanta has like a big like color LGBT community.
Yeah, they definitely have a huge, predominantly of course Black community down there, but we in our previous year we didn't really get to experience that, I would say, much, because it was in the middle of a snowstorm, which is like the only time, like one of the rarest occasions that it snowed in Atlanta, which is crazy. That was back earlier
snow
this
in
year.
Atlanta? God damn.
Very, very rare.
Very
and we just
rare.
happened to be in the middle of that time that we got a freaking snowstorm. And they from like 2-3 inches of snow on the streets, on the highway, fully like caved off, they don't have any like, shoveling, snow plowers or anything like that. Like they don't have the equipment, and it's crazy that it basically shut down. It shut down half of the city, or like vast majority of the city. Was crazy.
Yeah.
But I would like to re-experience Atlanta, which I think like we talked about in our friends group before, to be able to do that one of these days. I would like to go to Chicago too. Chicago seems also very queer friendly and has very specific events for queer people, just in terms of tourism as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so another would you rather question is, would you rather have a heart-to-heart talk about your fantasies, or keep things spontaneous and surprise each other?
Oh, I would like surprise.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, like me, girl. I have a drawer full of like underwear and different outfits I could wear if I wanted to. It's the fact of like I'm most of the time lazy to get into them, and I'd rather just do it like the session normally. You know what I mean?
Are you into
so it's
like?
Something you have to like get in the mood.
Are you into like the whole BDSM? Are you like into that, like chains and whips and?
No, not really.
No,
So it's not outfits like that, but it's just like between like the things that I could wear specifically, like the underwears and maybe like bodysuits. Like I have like specific, like I would say not necessarily lingerie, but like more like the meshy stuff that I think is like really, really cute that I have,
So would you rather have a dinner date with a group of friends discussing sex openly, or a private dinner date focusing solely on each other? I think that's pretty.
I think the first one. The
Yeah?
first one's fine.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Because why would? Well, I would say specifically queer people, specifically gay men.
Yeah.
They can't shut the hell up sometimes about sex. You know what I mean? Like at all. Sometimes that's the only thing they think about. But I think it's more funny or more entertaining, and also more freeing to talk about it with friends. Say like if someone want to bring up like, oh, there's like a hookup I recently had, or there's like something I'm planning to go to, something that's like more planned and maybe more fun for them, is like, oh, interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Last question, and let me know if you want to answer this or not. Would you rather be ejaculated on your face or your stomach?
Oh. At that point, just like body. Just
body?
Put it on my stomach.
Just on your stomach?
Yeah.
All right.
I would say other face is like hard. Because at that point, I honestly rather just swallow,
Oh, okay. You'd rather have it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like the cleanup after, it's not cute. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. That's it. That's it.
Have you learned anything, Blasian?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton from this whole thing. Like I don't know. It's like time is just. I don't want to keep you too long, because I know you got stuff to do.
It's like literally now approaching 3 hours. That's wild.
Yeah. So I like to keep it like that. I like to keep it like at that 3. I don't want to like keep too, or else I'll be just going on and on. We'll be just going on for hours and hours, So I like to, for these type of podcasts, I like to keep it at like a solid like 3 hours. I would like to ask you, like I usually do this with all of the guests, but I'd like to ask you, is there anything you want to ask me? Is there anything that you want to ask me, or anybody in the chat? Like Meowsif, if you have questions for Sass, please put it in the chat right now. Because like this is something that it rarely happens. I don't know when we're ever going to do this again, so I would like to end off on this like this. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me. And and anybody, Meow, if you have any questions, or anybody want to ask Sass, feel free to ask Sass.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So if you ever have returning guests, like this has been so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
If you
want to
do a part 2,
woo!
I'd be happy. Yeah.
Yo.
If you're like, I can't find a new guest and Sass just happens to be free, why not?
Oh man, I would love it. I would like to do like something a little bit more dating and romance focused, because a lot of this one is, I like to focus on you like, because you're mixed and your journey and your upbringing. Like I like to focus on that first because I don't really know you. So this was great for me to know you. I didn't know that your mom was mixed. She was already Blasian. That really like brought like I was like my mind is blown, and your story, like every single person who's homosexual has like a story that of coming out, of like revealing it to their parents, and like your mom just showing up to your your apartment and just like, see, hey, here's my boyfriend. Just
open the door.
Hey, what's up? Hey,
Right.
Yeah. So Vote Turd Sandwich says prefer face. Wow.
I prefer face. To each their own. Some people like the mess. For me, I just like to just have it in my body immediately more than like face,
Right. Have you ever swallowed and was like, ew? Like you gotta eat something else, or like
luckily no, like
yeah.
I think like hydrated, right? That way is like a basic experience. I don't want anyone who only drinks or just eat fast food and drinks no water and it tastes like battery acid. That I imagine is like the worst thing ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luckily, I never had a bad experience. So.
So Meowsif says, "What is one thing that will make you crave to go live and stream? That one thing that will make you want to go live and stream? Like what?
Ooh.
Like what? Are you asking?
I think when it comes to makes me excited if there's like something that absolutely makes me want to go live. I would say if it's like for sure a new game that I've been like waiting forever to play and it finally comes out, like I will absolutely turn on my stream to probably like play that game. So think like the one game right now I'm most looking forward to is like the final part 3 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. Like once that game comes out, I know a lot of friends will play.
Me too.
Wait
that
to
is
play it, or at least play the opening part on stream.
Woo! That's gonna be fire. Like I can't wait.
So
I
it's like
love
things like
Rebirth.
that.
Yeah,
Rebirth was just so fun, and I still play Remake like so many times. And also early this year, I played it Rebirth specifically like a few more times as well, past like the beginning when it first came out. It's so fun.
I know you're a big Persona fan, so Persona. Like if Persona 6 came out, would you like be on that immediately?
I would only for the beginning, I would say, to stream the beginning. Because that's a part where it's like just story building and you're not really like, as you're still learning the mechanics of a game and stuff like that. It's like the easiest part to just like go through with everybody without needing to really worry about like, spoilers or preconceived notions from seeing other friends' streams if you just happen to be like playing it first on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Meows also asked, is there one thing you're super proud of after starting your Twitch life?
The biggest thing I'm very, very proud of is like my community. Like I legit made super like close friends, chosen family through Twitch streaming, and that was like one aspect that I knew like there's a community building aspect, but like for sure friends who like fully get me, and like we had a whole like Twitch table at me and G Silver's wedding. Like we had true people that we are just so down with and like we vibe with so well that we consider them chosen family. So that's like the biggest like reward from streaming. Yeah, I would never imagine otherwise.
Yeah, meeting the people that in your community that in IRL is probably wow. Like I never had that chance to do it yet, but like, man, that would be so cool just to meet people that watch you and like you have like that close interaction with them, and like it's like being live but like in person live.
Yeah. You need to come to a future TwitchCon.
I do. If they have one in Toronto, like which I'm surprised they don't.
Like an East Coast one, yeah.
East Coast,
East Coast one.
If they have one in New York, I would fly down to New York, 100%. I would definitely fly down and be like going to a TwitchCon, 100%. Yeah. But like going all the way to the West Coast, like, and like America is pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
A Canadian dollar, holy shit! I'd be man.
That's true.
I better be making some sort of like Twitch money. Maybe if I get partner.
Yeah.
Maybe if I become a partner, maybe if I like have a
Okay.
a great following or whatever. But
Mhm.
Meowsmith also asked, what's the downside of being a streamer?
One downside, I would say, it sometimes take a lot more longer to fully get the vibe of like a new person coming to the community.
Mm,
To the point where it's like sometimes like, okay, are you here because you enjoy the content? Are you here to try to catch some clout because you're from another community and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So there's always like something like that in the back of my mind where it's like a first time chatter. Like you're really trying to like get to know them and trying to like
yeah.
vibe out with them.
Mm-hmm. Like, what's
And it
your
takes way
intention?
more. It takes way more
Yeah.
than just one stream to be able to do that too. So
Yeah.
as we all do, we have people who like come for the first time, they follow, they really like you, and you like them back, and you're having a good conversation. And then they don't come back, or it takes forever for them to come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like things like that. Like you don't want to be like too emotionally invested. So it's more so for me just providing a space, just to hang out if people choose to hang out. That's
Right.
what it really comes down to.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard
And
to
then besides
gauge
all the
someone-
trolling.
yeah, the trolling is just like I like to use trolling as a way to have fun. Like you can't control people who come into your chat and just say shit, like say random shit. I don't know if you had this happen before in your chat where like they just talk a bunch of shit and you're like, what the fuck? But for me personally, I just like I don't ban right away. It depends on what they say, but if they say like something, if they say something like really, really crazy, okay, I'll ban them right away. But if they're like kind of, like say something random, like,
or it's always like the people that says like, "Oh, can I ask you one quick question?" It's like,
Yeah.
you didn't even say hi.
Yeah, you even say hi or something.
Let's
Like,
at
you
least
know-
wipe the hello. And stuff.
Yeah, or like like say something random ass fact, like the sky was shaped like a penis today, or something, some clouds or something. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Right.
Yeah, where did that come from? Mm-hmm.
That's
But,
wild. I never had that. I just had like those people like first time chatters is one or completely different language, and it's like unfortunately right we're English only chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I feel bad about like banning those people, but you have to kind of do it. And then you have like those people with like asking those questions. It's like that's not how you also talk to anyone IRL.
Yeah.
Like say
you're not
hi
gonna go up to
first.
someone. Yeah, you're not gonna go up to a person and be like asking them or like saying some shit that is like completely out of pocket. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah.
It's strange. I think a lot of the people who come in and first time chatters, like especially on Twitch, it's like Twitch in general, they don't really have like person to person interaction IRL. They're so used to interaction online. And this is dangerous because again, if you don't have like IRL interaction, I feel as though you're missing out a lot on when you actually do have to go out, or you do actually have to interact with somebody, or you
just
have
how to
like,
be
say
social.
Yeah, like you
just
have
how to
you
like
have
actually interact with another person.
Yeah, it's different when
And
you're
not be weird.
interacting. Yeah, because online it's different, but when you're out there face to face, it's a different energy. That's why I don't like to online date. I don't know if you ever done that before, but I just did not like online dating at all. Like I rather meet like we'll talk like via whatever, like text or
And then
whatever.
plan like a date soon,
Plan
right?
on a
At
date,
least plan, like, a
yeah.
date soon.
Let's
Not
go
go too
out.
far
I'll pay.
with like messaging.
Right, exactly. Like if you just get into like the habit of like messaging all the time, there's people who are in like long distance relationships who are like across the world. Like I'll use Philippines as an example. Like I don't know how many people I know who are in relationships with Filipinas, and they're in love with them. They want to be with them. They want to bring them over here, but you don't know them. You do not know them. You do not know who they are. You don't know. Like I feel as though if you really want to get to know a person, when you're in a relationship, have them live with you for a bit, for a couple of months, get to know their like daily routine, how they act, yada yada yada, feel each other out, and then like move on, like get married or do whatever. But I feel like people get married way too fast, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend way too fast, and then they're like they fall in love way too fast, and then suddenly shit happens or a problem happens and they fight, and then suddenly they're like, fuck this guy or fuck this bitch or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they don't even work it out, you know, and they just got into a relationship. Like, the fuck? You said you loved this person a week ago. Now, a week later, you're saying fuck this person? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
and for me and G Silver, I would say we were together maybe 7 full years or so, 7 or 8 years before we got engaged. And then by the time it was wedding, it was at least 9 years.
Oh.
So, you know, it's time. And for me, it was like, I think it's different for us as like a gay queer couple, is that we don't have the expectations of immediately trying to like build a family and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Whereas,
that
you know,
outside
I
pressure,
assume other couples will have to deal with.
I get that all the time. Sass.
Oh, like where you can have kids and stuff like that?
Yeah, like this shit, like my family, they're very, you know, a lot, it's Filipino, right? So like traditionally you're not
nosy.
Have a family. Yeah, nosy, very, they call it chismis or something. Yeah, very nosy. They want to like, you know, oh, what is he did they have a kid yet? Or why is she still not pregnant? Is there something wrong? Something happening? It's just like, no, if it happens, it happens. If it happens, I'm enjoying my cream pie. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying my cream pie goodness, okay? And I don't care if she gets pregnant, she gets pregnant. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Like I don't really care at this point.
Okay. But yeah, how long have you and your partner have been together?
Oh my god, we're coming on 10 years now.
Okay.
And,
yes.
Yeah, and
nice.
Yeah,
congrats.
we're not married, and I've talked about this before. I don't believe in marriage. I believe in the relationship. I believe in a strong relationship. I believe like if you have a strong, what's the difference? Like if we already have a house, we're pretty much practically married. So what? Okay, so if I propose to her tomorrow, what will be the difference? Like, what will be there's no difference. There's no difference there's no difference at all. So
yeah,
from my perspective, like, you know, we love each other, we care about each other, we want what's best for each other. We argue from time to time, we have these, but it's normal, you know? Like, she's not perfect, I'm not perfect, but we work together through our adversity together, you know? That's the most important thing. And to me, like, the money that we spend on a wedding, we could have spent it on a trip somewhere. I'd rather take her somewhere nice, you know?
Who are you to talk to? Because the credit card debt that I racked up specifically to help finish paying off our wedding is crazy.
I know. Weddings are not cheap.
Yeah. And I would agree where if you were already in a long-term relationship like that, then like, you know, a actual marriage doesn't really like cause real, true, significant difference in your lives at that point. Because me and G Silver, we're all the same. We already got like our home since like August 2020. We've been living together for a while. We know that it's gonna be like we're in it for the long run, right? Like I love him, he loved me. We're in this together for like the rest of our lives. And probably we felt more pressure because we were both like the first in our families to get to this point where, you know, if it's gonna be a marriage, it's gonna be like a big thing, you know what I mean, for both of our families. And in the end, of course, it was like a beautiful occasion, but I also would think like, girl, if we had just city hall it up on documents, not having to go through cheaper debt, I would have so much more savings. Yeah,
exactly. Because again, you know, I mean, it's for I know from my perspective, it's like for show. It's like an event, and you know, and it's like you're.
It's meant for your loved ones more than anything. I would say in that case,
you know, for people to see. Oh, now you can say you're officially married. You know, I can't like every time I say my wife, people call me out on it. Like, you're not married. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, it's kind of weird for me to call her my girlfriend. It's like, well, that's technically who she is.
Like, it's more than that.
I'm like, no, but like, okay, that's why I try to like call her my wifey, because like she's like a wife to me, you know. Like, technically, we're not married. We're not married, and you know, you just gotta ignore those people, because at the end of the day, I'm happy, she's happy. You know, we're in a great relationship, a strong relationship, and you know, I mean, we just want to build with each other. We want to grow with each other. We want to, you know, keep going. You know, in the Philippines, that's where my next destination is. That's where it is. Okay?
Like, you fully do want to move there, like both you,
because
your
like
partner and everything.
It's like like I said, what I mentioned before, culturally here, you are working to live. Like you are working,
Yeah.
you are literally paying bills and mortgage, like our house. Like we're just literally going to work, getting a paycheck, coming back, paying off the bills or whatever, and then it's like a cycle. Like we're just living to just pay bills, Instead, we should be. I talked to her about this. Like we should actively move, and she's telling me like, well, since you like streaming, try to figure out a way to like move that into the Philippines, because like there's not a lot of IRL content creators in the Philippines. And I'm like, there's not a lot that I watch. There's probably like one guy who's like, his name is Tech Tourist. He does IRL in the Philippines, but like that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Like there's not a lot of people who do IRL content. It's mostly YouTube. It's mostly like travel videos, food videos, that type of stuff. But when it comes down to streaming, IRL streaming, it's something that I'm thinking about, and I don't really like to talk about it because I like to move in silence. There's one thing about me is that I move in silence and I work in the background without anybody knowing, and then I show up, I execute, because I don't like to talk. I don't like to talk too much, but so
well, as long as you both are like, I think there's a beauty to like manifesting it out loud in some form, not to everybody, right? Yeah. But I think, of course, it sounds like you guys have a clear communication to like put it out there and have it as be an idea and maybe work towards it. And I think that will, of course, help you down the line as well.
Exactly.
That'd be exciting. That's a very like specific niche that I think you can totally do.
I know. Yeah. So when's your next trip to Vietnam?
Oh God, I don't know. I do not know. For those who missed it or may have come late, last trip for my cousin's wedding, I was in full depression mode. I felt I had to be back in the closet.
Right.
And I think I'll be more. I feel like now that everything's out there, like of course my whole family over there now knows, I am like a gay man, and I got married. They sent me gifts. They sent us gifts for the wedding, everything. So nice. They at least know. So I feel like that's like a layer of maybe like a worry I don't have to worry about anymore. But I think to the piece of like still trying to navigate like the day-to-day and talking to people and even talking to my family there, it's hard. Like I don't know how to properly communicate, and that also had led to more of my depression from my last trip during there. And I was there for like 3.5 weeks. No, 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So it's just like a long time, and again I was missing G Silver. It was a lot of stuff. So maybe not be for a while unless my mom wants to plan like a trip and go, and we will have to go as a family. I feel like before if I go by myself, that it would seem right.
It'll be very different this time. I'm telling you, it'll be very different this time. And if you plan on like doing an IRL thing, I will definitely watch it, or I'll follow. I follow you on Instagram.
That'd be cool.
Now, so,
I wonder. Yeah. I wonder if the internet service will be strong enough to do that.
You know what? There's a way to do it, and like I'm gonna test it when I go like into the Philippines in the future. Or when I go like traveling. Like there's like an e data thing. I don't know what it's called. Like a
to get like
eSIM,
the proper cellular
eSIM,
cellular internet service.
eSIM.
Okay.
All right, Sass. Is there anybody who you would like to raid out to? Is there anybody you'd like to raid out to? So that
good question.
Yeah, I like to end off on this note, because since you're a guest, so I would like to know who we're gonna raid out to, Sass. And if you're not following,
I'm checking.
Sass, I'm gonna give you a special shout out here. You gotta follow Sass.
Aww.
Follow him, please and thank you. Go follow him.
I'm trying to think.
3 hours did fly by. It did.
Yeah, it really, really did. There's actually not a lot of friends that's on live for me right now, to be honest.
Really, anybody who you want to raid out to. I wish Pearl was on. That'll be cool.
Pearl would never be on this early. We know that. Pearl's also West Coast time, meaning it's even more later
like
for us.
It's 1 p.m. for her, so she's probably just waking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
actually have no idea. So if you want anyone that you would like, I'm totally okay with just to spread some love for people that you actually know too. That would be really, really cool.
God, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, okay. We'll go to. Oh gosh, I don't know if I should. Okay. Do you like Final Fantasy VII?
Hell yeah! Again, we're
Yeah.
excited for the remake
Okay,
finale.
okay. We'll go to someone playing Final Fantasy VII. I haven't rated him in a long time. His name is the Retro J. So the Retro J. Okay, yeah, he's currently speedrunning Final Fantasy VII. I've not rated him
Oh shit!
in a while. Yeah, he's currently speedrunning it. So exclamation point raid 1 if you are not subscribed, and exclamation point raid 2 if you are. Sass, thank you again for doing this. I mean,
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully
this is
people got to learn more about me.
yeah, and this has been a great conversation. I can't wait to like clip it and post it on social media. I'll definitely
Make a
put this
highlight
on-
reel.
Yeah, no, like mostly like I'll clip like certain parts and then post it on TikTok and Instagram. That's like
Yeah.
where I like to post like most of my clips. So, do you have
Ooh,
TikTok
okay.
by the way?
I do.
Okay.
You can still tag me.
Okay.
Still the epitome of sass, but I haven't posted in like a long time. If anything, I'm mostly active on like Instagram and Blue Sky. Yeah, more than
Oh.
anything.
Oh yeah, I don't even use Blue Sky to be honest.
You have an account there. I found it.
I have
when
an
I was
account.
posting, like
Yeah, I have an account, but I never use it. I'm not a
it's
Twitter
fun.
dude. I am not
It's
a Twitter.
fun.
I'm not a Twitter guy. Okay.
The vibes are way better on Blue Sky than Twitter. I'll say that.
Oh, are they actually?
Yeah. Because it's like
Okay.
you're curating your own feed. There's no advertisements. So it's all like based on your interests, and it does its magic. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, everybody say goodbye to Sass. We're gonna be rating over in 3, 2, 1, and yeah, that's it. They rated over. Perfect. Sass, thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you
thank you
very
for
much.
having me.
No, thank you. Honestly, like this is amazing.